personality. I know your anger, I know your dreams. I've been anything you wanna be. Oh, I'm the cult of personality. Like Mussolini.
All right, welcome to Buddy Martin's show, sometimes known as the voice of Ocala, sometimes known as just another day in paradise here at the Paddock Mall. Glad to be with you on another day. Coming up on 3 years here on the voice of Ocala. Tom Smits joins me. Diamond Anderson's in the house. It's been a busy day already. It's almost like we've morphed from one show to another, although you haven't heard any of it. We just completed doing parts of our show, our show for tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. If you haven't heard about it, it's called Southern Pigskin Tonight, and we got an array of stars on that thing. It's going to be a fabulous show. The first one kicks off tomorrow night, every Thursday at 6 o'clock right here on WOCA and the Southern Pigskin Radio Network in Brunswick, Waycross, Savannah, Hilton Head. It's going to be fun. We're going to have lots and lots of fun talking football, so don't miss that tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. Tom Smits coming up today on the show. We'll talk about the baggy pants ordinance. Still no change on that.
Good for the city council.
Jim Ross of the Star Banner will be here. I'm sure he'll shed some light on that for us. Also, we'll talk about the state buying land for the Greenway. We heard a rumor there was some land being bought by the state. We didn't know what it was for. Apparently, they're trying to smooth out the holes in the Greenway, which is a good thing. And we'll talk more about that with Jim Ross. There's a story on the front page of the Star Banner today. It's going to be a jam-packed day, especially in Buddy Martin's sports page. Tony Barnhart, Mr. College Football, joins us today on the show, where we'll talk about the upcoming season, some of the changes, some of the teams you should be watching, a little bit about the Florida Gators, the Georgia Bulldogs, and what have you in the SEC. And then, two-time MVP of the Super Bowl, four-time Super Bowl champion, Hall of Fame quarterback, and host of Fox on NFL on Sunday, Fox Sunday, I believe it's called, on the NFL. Terry Bradshaw joins us today as part of our program today, and he will be featured on the Terry Bradshaw Show tomorrow night. I want to thank our fine sponsors, by the way, for that. The sponsors on the show will include Prestige Auto. We'll also have
Mark's Primes.
Mark's Prime Steakhouse and Seafood. We're going to have
Gateway Bank.
Gateway Bank, exactly, and maybe others. So I want to thank those folks for making the Terry Bradshaw Show, football show,
We need to get you coached up on your NASCAR abilities where you can just spout them sponsors off. We need to get you, send you to NASCAR school.
I need some stickers on my body. So
you can put some stickers on your body. You'll know it's the Gateway Bank, Mark's Prime Steakhouse and Seafood. See, I can't even do it.
Yeah, now you got it wrong. So.
The Prestige Auto,
one of those.
Terry Bradshaw Show.
This is a story I'm going to talk about next segment. When you're on the road, you feel like all you see is trucks all the time. Must be so many trucks. And we know that America has to move its merchandise on the trucks, and we get that. However, there's a shortage of truck drivers.
Yes.
Apparently, I'll tell you about that. Red meat, good for you or bad for you?
I don't want to. If it's bad for you, I don't want to hear about it.
Well, we'll find out together. Also, coming up on Eye on Ocala, Don Cushing will join us on a rewind program today at 4 o'clock. And as I said, Jim Ross will be here at 4:30. And we'll play Fake or Factoid. Once again, Diamond will beat the brakes off the guy he calls himself. What do you call yourself? The
Did Diamond win yesterday?
Diamond wins most of the time.
Diamond wasn't here yesterday. She couldn't win.
Yeah, but if she'd have been here, she would have. I missed you, Donna. He didn't miss you, Diamond, but he didn't. Okay, let's take a break right now. Go ahead and take a break. We'll come back. We've got ways to go here. We'll catch up on the news. We'll talk a little bit about some of those subjects and set the table for an interesting day right here on the Voice of Ocala.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're live and local on The Source.
Regions Bank has big bank ability but possesses small bank agility. Utilizing tools like Raymond Andrews and his team of 6 mortgage experts with 100 years of experience in the mortgage industry and 50 years experience as members of the Regions Bank team. Mortgage lending is personal and important, and you deserve someone that will lead you through a positive process. Raymond and his team use local mortgaging processes like local appraisers and local closing to help you have a positive experience, and they habla Espanol as well. So whether you need a conventional, FHA, USDA, or VA loan, or you even need a construction loan, the mortgage team of your local Regions Bank has the knowledge and experience to guide you through the process. So contact Raymond Andrews and his team of mortgage experts at 352-854-4104. That's 352-854-4104. Regions Bank, it's time to expect more.
Right on the southwestern corner of the square sits one of the finest dining establishments in Florida, Mark's Prime Steakhouse and Seafood Restaurant. Mark's offers big city dining amenities in a charming and small town setting. It's a rare treat to experience both the ambiance and the exquisite cuisine in a friendly atmosphere. Ocala's finest restaurant serves the finest beef, the freshest seafood, premium wines, and naturally fresh vegetables. From valet parking to splendid service, Mark's offers the complete package. Check it out today. Mark's Prime Seafood and Steakhouse Restaurant.
Hi, this is Randy Briggs of the Briggs Law Firm. My son Bo and I practice exclusively in the representation of accident victims. And we've been asked many times why we would support and sponsor the program Ask the Cops with Sheriff Blair and Chief Graham, who are in the world of criminal law enforcement. Well, these legal rights actually overlap. In civil law enforcement, we're in the business of recovering for victims of accidents that which has been taken away from them and holding the responsible party accountable. Both civil law and criminal law share those common goals. So we're all in the field of law enforcement, and for that reason, we're proud to sponsor Ask the Cops on the Voice of Ocala with Buddy Martin. So if your family or a friend needs help in an accident situation, feel free to contact us at our website, www.The Briggs Law Firm. We're located in the Ocala Historic District.
Are you tired of not using your home's outdoor space for entertaining or relaxation because of all the bugs and leaves? Consider adding a beautiful screen room or glass enclosure. We are Superior Aluminum and Design, a family-owned and operated business with 20 years experience in the aluminum industry, and we are accredited by the Better Business Bureau. If you appreciate superior workmanship, call Superior Aluminum and Design at 817-8058 or visit us on the web at superiораluminumdesign.com.
Let's face it, nowadays it can be hard to find American-made products, and that's something that Cabinet Sales of North Florida is well aware of. That's why they're an authorized dealer of Wellborn Cabinetry, family-owned and American-made since 1961. Cabinet Sales of North Florida is your answer for complete turnkey kitchen remodels and whole house cabinetry. Their cabinets are finished with solvent-based enamels for a long-lasting finish that's second to none. Available in an incredible selection of door styles and colors to choose from to turn your dream kitchen into a reality. In-house design and drawing services are available. Come by and see our displays for yourself at the Floors of the Villages, 3935 County Road 216 in Oxford, or Exquisite Design Kitchen and Bath in Bellevue, right across the street from the Bellevue Library. So whether you're looking for bookcases, kitchen, bath, or outdoor kitchen, Cabinet Sales of North Florida is your one-stop source of quality cabinets. For a free estimate, call 352-427-2647. That's 352-427-2647. Cabinet Sales of North Florida.
Good credits, bad credits. It's none of our business because we're not an auto dealer. We're not a bank. We're not your mother. We're OcalaForSale.com, Marion County's marketplace for cars, trucks, and SUVs. We've got thousands of sellers standing by to take your call. No middleman. But hurry, don't walk, don't run. Just sit down and log on to OcalaForSale.com. Prices and inventory change daily. Offer does not include dealer upcharge, undercutting, rust-proofing, factory surcharge, or delivery fee. See website for details.
This is Tom Smith live in the WOCA News Center with this news break brought to you by Gateway Bank. Ocala Mayor Kent Gwynn made it crystal clear last night he wants the new saggy pants ordinance repealed. Councilwoman Mary Sue Rich, who initiated the ordinance, was crystal clear she doesn't want it repealed. According to this story on Ocala.com by Susan Carr, the thing that was far less clear was what the rest of City Council wanted to do with the controversial ordinance. Although council members discussed it Tuesday meeting, none called for the ordinance to be reopened. We'll be back, Loretta Pompey-Jenkins, president of Marion County branch of the NAACP, said, who attended the meeting. Pompey said the NAACP is planning its next strategic move. We are consulting with legal counsel. She said the NAACP will address the City Council again at its September 2nd meeting. This news break was brought to you by Gateway Bank, your new old-fashioned bank. Join Buddy for Community Gazette Day at Gateway Bank.
Far away, ricochet, you take your aim. Far away, you shoot me down, but I won't fall. I am titanium. You shoot me down, but I won't fall. I am titanium.
All right, so some of this news out of overseas is it's already been grim, obviously, between what we hear out of Ferguson and Missouri, and now the story out of coming out of the Middle East about the beheading of a newsman. President Barack Obama said he was heartbroken by the beheading of the journalist Jim Foley by ISIL extremists, but defiantly vowed to press on with American military operations to cut the group's quote-unquote cancer out of the Middle East. Quote was, Jim was taken from us in an act of violence that shocks the conscience of the entire world, he said. Obama had said he'd spoken to Foley's parents and told them we are all heartbroken at their loss and joined them in honoring Jim and all that he did. So it's no good news about someone dying, but to be beheaded is just one of the most grotesque things that could happen to anybody. So our thoughts and prayers to that family. You heard Tom Spence talking about the baggy pants law. I saw Mary Gwen last night on Channel 6. Didn't get a chance to, had the volume down, doing some work at home. I knew what he was talking about because he told us here on the program before that he was not supporting the baggy pants ordinance, although he did allow it to go through without vetoing it. And Mayor Graham will join us today by phone. He's out, as we say, on assignment, and he'll give us his thoughts about that. But the story, as Tom said, points out that it's not something that that he wants to see happen. NAACP, meanwhile, saying they'll be back. And as Tom said, Loretta Pompey-Jenkins, president of the branch of the NAACP. So it's kind of an unfortunate thing to happen in our community. I don't think it makes us look very smart or very good. I understand Councilwoman Mary Rich's thoughts about it. I agree it's distasteful. But I do have a problem when we start telling people how to dress unless it's obscene. Obviously, there's laws about nudity and what have you, obscenity. But the problem I have with it, as much as I don't like it, is how do you measure it? We talked about this with Chief Graham on the program Ask the Cops recently, sponsored by the Briggs Law Firm, which will be holding again from Gateway Bank on Friday. And, it's just hard to judge. And the Chief Graham assured us they're not going to over-enforce it, and they're not going to put people in handcuffs. But it is the law. And Chief Graham was quoted as saying, it doesn't sound to me like the debate is over. It seems like they're going to go back and bring something back. So there's still that discussion. There's certain things that you can legislate and certain things you can't, unless it's defiantly breaking some kind of law. And by the way, this is an ordinance that only applies to city property. I think it's an imposition of an ordinance that really borders on the, I don't want to say the rights issue because it's not really that. I just think it's really in poor taste for our town. We think we have to waste our time passing laws telling people how to dress when they're not obscene and they're not naked. I'm sitting here in Paddock Mall every day and look out this window. And I'm going to tell you about once every 3 days, I see people going by, and I see baggy pants. I see near obscenity from women. And Diamond, you can share that with me because you see the same thing. I mean, I mean, I love women's bodies and things like that, but there's some outfits that go by here make me shake my head and mine spins around. What about you, Diamond?
Yeah, some of them are almost near underwear length.
Yeah.
That the women wear.
And so, which was worse, the baggy pants or showing too much cleavage?
I think it's showing too much cleavage.
Yeah, I kind of share that with you.
Yeah.
And although a lot of men would disagree naturally. Anyway, just a little thing. It's very hard to legislate that, and it's something that makes us look kind of like we're cornballs around here. But I guess they'll work it out. And I know the mayor wishes now he'd have vetoed it, but he didn't. So we have that to live with. It was 3-2, I believe, the vote was. So we'll see where that goes. We'll follow that. We'll talk to Ken Gwynn in the 3:30 hour. We'll hear in about 20 minutes or so. We'll talk to Ken Gwynn. He'll be calling us in. One story I kind of encouraged by, and I heard this from a very good source, a well-placed source. And I believe, by the way, speaking of well-placed sources, this is not the source I heard it from, but I believe that County Administrator Lee Niblock is going to join us tomorrow live from at Mark's Prime Steakhouse and Seafood. We're going to talk about primarily the tax base and what's going to happen there. With the scuttlebutt is they're going to try to pass some kind of a half-cent sales tax, and I don't know what, but it'll be on the ballot. We'll talk to him about that as well. Someone told me who deals with this stuff that the county found out the state had been buying land unbeknownst to us out in the national forest or in the county. And this particular person voiced a concern to the state saying, you can't come in here and buy property and not tell us about it. Well, apparently this has been going on for a while, and I kind of applaud what they did. I'm not real happy about how slow the state has moved on Silver Springs because I think they haven't given it their best effort. But I do say that this idea of buying a parcels of land to fill up the gaps in the greenway, which is a good thing, is something that's interesting. They bought them one around Dunellen, one around Half Mile Creek, and one in McBride, the McBride parcel in Fort McCoy. And what they're trying to do, they're trying to help close the gaps in the 110-mile-long Marjorie Harris Carr Cross Florida Greenways belt, or to help link the corridor with the state recreational lands. We've got some fabulous recreational land. In fact, it is probably our number one asset now. That's why I talk about it so much on this show. And I had a conversation, I think, last week with Dale Barron and others I've talked to, the CEP, the county, about we have this ready-made resource. And I know you people who listen to the show get tired of me talking about this, but we're talking about bringing businesses in here. We've got a ready-made business that's already working with some promotion and getting behind this thing. The ecotourism business could be off the charts. Folks, if you don't believe me, just Google ecotourism and look at places like Costa Rica. Billions of dollars people come from around the world to see what they have, what we have right here. You may be a Disney World person, and you may love to go down and see Mickey Mouse, and they do some fabulous things. But with all the billions of dollars that they have at Disney World, they can never duplicate what we have here in our own backyard. Nearly 450,000 acres, and that's just the green space out to the east of the national forest. There are many lakes and rivers and parcels all over the county. So I'm looking at this map now on the front page of Star Banner, the Cross Florida Greenway, that they're buying the property for, and this Herschel Vineyard, who's a DEP, he's the big dog in Tallahassee on these things. He's on the FDE Protection Secretary is his title. He said there's been 6 deals that add to the inventory of recreation lands. His quote was, "In simpler terms, these trails will enable folks to get a little mud on their boots and their bike tires." If you don't believe it's working, drive out sometime to the Santos Bike Trail. Go by and look at the number of cars that are there, especially on the weekend, and look at the tags. Folks, most of them are not local. They come from all over the place. And we know that there's a study out right now, by the way, with the Tourist Development Commission, I understand, revealed early this week, according to source of mine, which talks about our area as a destination. And talks about the fact that most all of our traffic that comes here to visit is from 80 to 90 miles out. Those are the people who want to come and visit with destinations in mind in Marion County and Ocala. Such things as ecotourism bring them from 8,000 miles away. And I've had a number of discussions with the groups that I've met with on Silver Springs over the last year and a half. And I certainly trust people like Mark Emery, who knows a lot about the outdoors, who says it's uncanny that there's so many places that are so beautiful that have just cameras on them on the internet. There'll be hundreds of thousands of people that log on that camera just to see wildlife or see something like we have here. So we've got this incredible resource, God-given, God-made, and we are not doing a good job either at our state level and especially in our county level of telling the rest of the world about it. It needs to be publicized. It needs to be more advertising on it all over the country. So I'm glad they've got this the Greenway. I'm glad they bought the land. I'm looking forward to the day where we can actually see some things happen. And we know that Silver Springs is the gateway to that whole ecotourism deal. And we're hopeful that we'll get some good news out of there. Maybe I'll try to get Bobby Genovese on from Genovese from BG Capital and talk to him about what he's done. He's bought a couple of hotels out there. I understand he's kept it close to the vest, though, and hadn't told many people about what he's doing. So we'll put out a call and see if we can get Bobby Genovese to come in, share his vision of what he thinks is going to happen at Silver Springs, because I think it's something that we need to be talking about, folks. We need to be talking about. We need jobs. We need jobs in this county the worst way, because we are at the poverty level by too many people, and we don't need any more $8 and $9 and $10 jobs. We need some jobs where people can make a living. So, and I say as fast as possible, and we got it right here in our backyard. So please, folks, do all you can to tell your congressman, tell your state legislators, tell your county commissioner, why can't we do ecotourism? Why can't we get it underway now? Why can't we get a fund and publicize it? Let's run some commercials on, one of the nature channels or whatever, and take some of Mark Emery's footage and play it and show people what a great place Marion County is. Truly a great place. I'm sorry I had to get on my soapbox. I just get so frustrated sometimes, and when you have something right under your fingertips, and like Dale Barron said, it takes visitors from out of the state or out of town to come in and tell us what we've got, how lucky we are. Okay, I mentioned this time a while ago. Truck drivers and trucks probably get a bad rap. On the other hand, as we talked with the sheriff, the chief about, there are many, many people killed every year in accidents on our highway. I had the number at one point. It's a lot involving trucks. Now, that's not to say that people are negligent in it or the drivers are bad, or it's just a big piece of machinery rolling down the highway. And it's very intimidating. You can't really drive on a freeway or on a beltway or on the turnpike without getting intimidated by a couple of 18-wheelers. It forces you to either drive 85 to get up and around them, or it forces you to drive behind them at 68. And you can get run over by them. So I'm saying that, I'm talking out both sides of my mouth. I know we need trucks. For goodness knows, here in our county, where FedEx is about to open a headquarters over here on our business park, Ocala 489. And there are going to be lots more trucks rolling down the highway. And this is what we do here. Transportation is one of the biggest industries that we have. So when I say that, I don't want to make people think I'm against truck or truck drivers. It's just dangerous. Now, apparently there'll be a lot more trucks out there, but they got a problem. They can't find enough truck drivers. Get this number. The current shortage of truck drivers is estimated to be 30,000. And a new regulation they're going to have is going to make it even higher. There's a mandate to require commercial vehicles to have an electronic logging device, which will probably go into effect in 2015. This will make it harder for drivers to fudge the numbers and work more than legally mandated hours, which I think is a great rule. Right now, 75% of the industry does not have these logging devices, and analysts expect 100% compliance in a year or two on this. So this is a wonderful thing, because we know a lot of times drivers drive too far and get too tired and things happen. So The Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration conducted 3 million driver inspections in 2012, found that 950,000 violations. That's right, 950,000 violations. Something needs to be done. And 450,000 of those were hours out of service. So American truck drivers needed, make the highway safe. Looks like they're going to be cracking down on you in 2015. Come up at the bottom of the hour, we'll talk to our friend, the mayor, Kent Gwynn. He usually comes in with coffee. Lately, he's been kind of slacking off time, and I don't know. He's been using the excuse that he's out in the field. And, I think he don't want to buy any coffee anymore. But nonetheless, he'll be with us here shortly on the program called The Voice of Ocala. Stay tuned. The 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Happiness is you, because I'm happy that alone if you feel like that's what you want to do. Bring me down, can't none bring me down.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And so is State Farm agent Angie Lewis, working hard to serve her community as a citizen and insurance agent. Angie wants to help you as you adjust your insurance needs to your life. From everything to helping educate your teen driver to protecting your family against everyday risk. She wants to change the way you perceive insurance by developing relationships with her clients, which is why Angie and her staff are proud to be a part of so many good causes in Ocala. In turn, she has chosen to single out those who step up as leaders. Each month on The Voice of Ocala, Angie spotlights a good neighbor, saluting those who give exceptional service or do random acts of kindness to others. For this, Angie was written up in State Farm's National Magazine. Angie also supports local businesses with a regular Biz Buzz. The Angie Lewis State Farm Agency is located at 1122 Northeast 36th Avenue, where visitors are always welcome and the coffee pot is always on.
It's the ultimate summer staycation, just minutes from downtown Ocala, but miles away from the ordinary. A summer sports or summer golf membership at Golden Ocala Golf and Equestrian Club is your all-inclusive ticket to a summer filled with activities and fun from June through September. A summer membership at Golden Ocala opens the door to a world-class setting. Is golf your game? Is tennis your passion? Or is lounging poolside more your speed? Want to get in shape? Work out in the state-of-the-art fitness center and then relax and unwind in the sauna or the spa. Summer members also have use of the Equestrian Center at Golden Ocala, offering full board and paddock, impeccable trails, and a jumping ring for riders of all ages. Summer memberships are going fast, so visit goldenocala.com and explore the options. Golden Ocala Golf and Equestrian Club. This summer, you can live there and still play here.
Hi, this is Buddy Martin. Listen to The Voice of Ocala right here weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m.
Fox News Radio, I'm Karen McHugh. The Commander-in-Chief speaks out against the beheading of American journalist James Foley by Islamic extremists.
The United States of America will continue to do what we must do to protect our people. We will be vigilant and we will be relentless.
ISIS posted an internet video showing the murder of Foley, who'd been held captive for 2 years. Protests continue in Ferguson, Missouri in the wake of the police shooting death of 18-year-old Michael Brown, as supporters for both sides raise their voices.
I think the police have a difficult job to do. And until we know all the facts, we need to not be out looting, hurting people, and accusing people of things that we don't know what happened yet.
Patty Cantor in Clayton. Attorney General Eric Holder's in Missouri meeting with investigators. A record $17 billion settlement's been announced with Bank of America over the sale of mortgage-backed securities. Fox News. We report, you decide.
Too many burgers topped with chicken fried steak dipped in nacho cheese would do a number to your arteries. Grime and sludge do the same to your engine, but without that delicious flavor. Luckily, Napa has Seafoam motor treatment for just $7. So with $7, grab some Seafoam at Napa and get your engine's arteries clean. And eat a vegetable every once in a while. Conquer the job with Napa Know-How. At participating Napa Auto Parts stores while supplies last. Offer expires 8/31/14.
America was built by people with a few dollars and a dream. And while many don't know it, there's one path to success that still only requires a dream and about $10. That's right. If your dream is to start or grow your business, something as simple as the right business card could make all the difference. And today at Vistaprint.com, you can get 500 full-color business cards for only $9.99. That's right, only $9.99. Just go to Vistaprint.com and enter promo code 2000 at checkout. That's Vistaprint.com.
Hey, I'm Gary. And I'm Eric. Did you know that Red Eye Radio is on WOCA The Source every night from 2 to 6 a.m. and it's live?
That's right. No tape shows here.
We know that the news doesn't sleep.
And neither do we. So we're here with you live from 2 till 6 a.m. every weekday. Call us 866-90-RED-EYE. So join me, Gary McNamara.
And me, Eric Harley, every weeknight to discuss the latest in news and entertainment.
Right here on WOCA The Source.
Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean, I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need my seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line, and a new spoiler, and a new truck.
We can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too, huh?
Well, as a matter of fact, join me every Monday at 10 for auto repair with personal care here on The Source.
Of course you do.
Now is the time to take advantage of Florida Credit Union's CD specials. Our 36-month CD comes in at 1.26% APY. A 24-month is working for you at 1.0% APY. And our 12-month at 0.75% APY. All CD rate specials require $10,000 minimum. With friendly service and rates like these, it's not hard to see why Florida Credit Union has your CD options covered. Florida Credit Union, connecting your money to your life. Call 352-237-8222 for more information. Must act by 1/15/14.
Good credits, bad credits. It's none of our business because we're not an auto dealer. We're not a bank. We're not your mother. We're OcalaForSale.com. Marion County's marketplace for cars, trucks, and SUVs. We've got thousands of sellers standing by to take your call. No middleman. But hurry, don't walk, don't run. Just sit down and log on to OcalaForSale.com. Prices and inventory change daily. Offer does not include dealer upcharge. Undercutting, rust proofing, factory surcharge, or delivery fee. See website for details.
All right, welcome back to the program, Voice of Ocala. We're going to go now out to somewhere. I'm not sure where. I believe we got the mayor on the phone. Is that right? We don't have the mayor on the phone. Okay. Mayor Gwynn will be here shortly. We just had him on the phone. We were trying to get back with him in just a second. Meanwhile, we'll talk about the baggy pants law. I have information that on how the council voted on the baggy pants thing. 4-0-1. I know John McLeod was out of town. I think he'd have voted. I believe he's saying he would have voted against it, if I'm understanding this right, because he thinks it's caused a stir, and he says he thinks the thing to do now is just decriminalize this thing. So if we get a chance, we'll talk to John McLeod, get his take on that. City Councilman John McLeod saying that the vote was 4-0-1. He was out of town. So, yeah, I think he's right. I think it's definitely a stir, and I think it's what the mayor has a problem with, too, because
Ken, are you there? Hello. Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. All right. All right. I think we have the mayor on the phone now. Hey, Ken, how you doing?
Good.
I'm just reading a note here from John McLeod. I said the vote on the baggy pants, I guess, was 4-0-1. Is that correct?
Back when they voted on it, yeah.
Or was it 4-0? I'm sorry. 4-0, yeah. And John McLeod was out of town at that point in time. It did pass, and you had a chance to veto it and decided not to at that time, but then changed your mind. As I recall, you tried to get that legislation that changed back to a veto, and they wouldn't let you do that because it had passed. Consequently, we have an ordinance which a lot of people are not happy with. I didn't get a chance to hear the interview. I saw you on Channel 6 last night. I know that you'd like to have the law repealed. Can you catch us up on where you stand on that now? And is it true that this is going to be one of those things where they're just going to decriminalize it and not enforce it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what's going to happen to it. You know, the interview I did with Channel 6 was about a 5-minute interview, which, you know, being in the media, they got about 5 seconds of it. But, no, it's never come out, which is what I've said, and I told the reporter from Channel 9 today. Nobody says, and I'll say it on this radio show, I think that it's disgusting. I think it looks ridiculous, and I agree with everybody that it doesn't look good. Okay, I agree with that.
And you're a fashion dude. I mean, let's be honest. People don't know Kent. He's like the ultimate GQ man. I mean, he looks like he could be a cover of GQ every other month because he loves him some clothes, and he got some great ones. He says he only got about 20 suits. I believe he's got 200. That being said, you know, he doesn't like the baggy pants law if for no other reason than fashion. But beyond that, what?
No, beyond that, I mean, we're talking about, I take this very seriously, you're talking about a governmental body creating a law that is criminalizing the way people put their clothes together. Okay? That's what you're talking about. Now, if I find enough people that think maybe what you're wearing or what you're doing or what you put on your arms or tattoos, piercing, if I think that's offensive and I can get 3 out of 5 people to agree with me, I can criminalize that and put you in jail too because I think it's offensive. That's what we're talking about. I don't want us to get to that point where government is telling me what I've got to wear or how I put it together.
All right, you're out there all the time pitching Ocala. That's what you do. It's what a mayor does. You tell them how great we got it here. Are you a little bit embarrassed to go some places and have people say I'm the mayor of Ocala and say, yeah, you're the baggy pants mayor?
Nobody said that yet, but yeah, we spent way too much time on this. And I told the reporter from Channel 9 today that I'm done with this, and council can figure out what they want to do with it, and then we'll just, you know, sit back and see what they do, and then we'll just kind of go from there. But I'm really, you know, done with this.
More important things that we could be working on right now, Mayor, I think.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of good things going on in Ocala, and a lot of very, very, you know, serious things we're working on as far as crime is concerned. So, you know, I've been spending my time dealing with that and, you know, solving other problems today. So, yeah, this is not, you know, high up on, I know, the police department's priority list.
Well, you're kind of the sunshine, Mayor. You like to always have something good to say and tell folks how great things are in our city. Give me some good stuff.
Well, you know, we still working with, you know, companies, bring them to town. You know, I mean, that's a given and everything. But, you know, there's some controversial stuff coming up here, but you'll hear about, you know, soon that involves changing our addresses that the county wants to do within the city that I'm going to be staunchly opposed to.
I'm still mad about the quadrant system. I grew up here when the streets.
I love the quadrant system.
I liked it when they had names. You know, streets had names. I'm sorry, but now we're going to be doing what? Going back to the names thing or something? What's going on?
No, it was something they were doing for safety reasons. That they were saying that they were going to change the addresses. I know that they tried to change Cheney Brothers back a couple of years ago, and Board of Adjustments turned them down and said, you know, the county couldn't change it, that, you know, Cheney Brothers could keep their address, which would have cost them about $350,000 to deal with that. And then now they're talking about changing. It was the first reading of an ordinance last night. I'll get more information on. I'll talk to you about it next week.
All right.
But it's not good. And we don't have to do it, but, you know, staff seems to think that, you know, we should do it for public safety.
Well, we talked about baseball here the last couple of days because I went to the Trop over the weekend, and I had a great trip, and my grandson went, and Allison Campbell, who, as you know, is a baseball maven, was basically one of your spokespeople for being pro Yankees, talking about a great time it is at the ballpark. And I just wondered, any baseball news? I get questions all the time. Is there any baseball news? And one more time, for the 1000th time, is the Yankee deal completely dead?
No, it's not dead, but let me tell you about 2 baseball things. You know, one, I did talk to the Yankees the other day, told them that they were talking about, you know, doing a sales tax referendum still I talked to someone today that went to that meeting. They're not going to put their sales tax on the ballot as far as public safety and those things. They've run out of town. However, we've got all our language ready to go for the baseball stadium. If they would allow us to put it on there and allow the voters to decide what they want to do with their own money, that would be great. So I don't know that that's going to happen, but we do have it ready, and we do have time to do it. And yes, the Yankees are still interested. However, on a different subject and baseball, I've been going to the 14-year-old and under Cal Ripken World Series tournament. Missed last night because I had to go to council, but Ocala Speed won last night, I think 7-1, so they could stay in the tournament. And now they're in the position to. I think they've got 2 or 3 more games to play to win the championship. And I honored a 12-year-old baseball team from Highlands last night who won their state tournament, and got to recognize them. So there are a lot. We talk about saggy pants and young kids wearing that. Let me tell you, there are so many great kids in this community that are doing such great things that we sometimes on the wrong kids and don't pay enough attention to the good ones.
Good point. You're right. There are an awful lot of good kids in this area. So I'm sure they're having a great time at the Cal Ripken. That's a great event. Brings in millions of dollars to us every year. Another example of what we can do if we promote events in our town and we can attract people. There's no question about it. I've been on my high horse today talking about the ecotourism deal, which I'm still trying to hear some good things about. Hopefully we can move forward in that because it's such a natural thing for us right here, and it's already built in our backyard. But anyway, we'll keep trying. And we'll see what comes up, Mayor.
All right.
I missed my coffee.
All right. Well, I'm up in Gainesville. I'm at the Krispy Kreme, so maybe I should think it does donuts.
Well, thanks a lot for being out there. I mean, this is 2 weeks in a row you stiffed me on the coffee, and I'm getting a little tired of that, I want to tell you.
Are you getting tired of the coffee, or are you just jealous that he's on the road having a good time and you're stuck here?
A little of both.
Yeah,
actually.
I thought that's maybe what it was.
All right, Kent. Thank you, Mayor Gwen.
All right.
Once again, no coffee with the mayor, we'll call it this week. Thank you. All right.
All right.
Yeah, we'll take a break. We'll come back and we'll save fake or factoid for
save it for hour
Ross,
2.
Jim Ross. Yeah, coming up. And we're coming at the top. We've got Don Cushing, who is the CEO of Ocala I. One of our original interviews. It was a very interesting time of a discussion about what we have here in Ocala I, which is a unique business. It's a unique business and one that of the highest quality, and I say that straight up, not as an advertiser, but as a person who really enjoys the facilities. Myself, I go there, and I know I get the best health care, so I recommend you listen to Don Cushing. He'll be coming up here in just a few minutes. Come back. We got a little story about red meat. And
if it's not a good story, I don't want to hear it.
I don't know if it's a good story. We'll see. What does science say about red meat? Coming up next, along with tweets and quotes right here on the Voice of Ocala.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're live and local on The Source.
Hi, it's Lisa Midget with Kinetic Motion Fitness. I'm looking forward to a fun, healthy summer, and I have a few ideas that might just help you and your friends stay in shape and have fun too. Along with awesome personal training and group classes at our warm and inviting fitness studio, we also offer fitness classes at your home or business. And if you're tired of the same old, boring cake and punch party, why not let us host a hot new health trend, a fitness party at your home or office? If you're having a hard time getting to the gym this summer, because of your crazy schedule, then work out with your friends or coworkers in a private group fitness class, or host a fitness party at your home or office. We will bring you and your friends or coworkers one of our great workouts like Zumba, Pilates, Body Bar, Yoga, Tai Chi Boot Camp, or Zumba Tomics for kids. We can even help you reach your long-term goals by meeting at your place weekly for an on-location workout. Check out our website at kmfocala.com and like us on Facebook. Kinetic Motion Fitness is located just 5 minutes from downtown Ocala near the Skylark Plaza. Kinetic Motion Fitness. We're ready when you are.
This is Allstate Agent Kevin McDonald, and our agency is a proud sponsor of the Marion County Friday Night High School Football Game of the Week. I grew up in Ocala, and I'm proud to support high school athletics throughout Marion County. For all your insurance and employee benefit needs, contact the McDonald Agency at 622-2333. Our agency has been a proud member of the Ocala-Marion County community since 1985, with offices in Ocala and the Villages.
If you need a sign or a banner for your yard or your business or your campaign, I'd recommend you go to Signs Unlimited at 318 South Magnolia in Ocala. Screen printing, embroidery, digital graphics. Do what I did when we needed signs for the Save the Marion Theater Group. Go see Vic Buttermore at Signs Unlimited if you want quality work with a fast turnaround from somebody who is deeply committed to his community and always ready to assist you. There's a reason Vic's slogan is, "It's our business to make your business better." Sign up for Signs Unlimited. Call 732-7341 today.
Each morning, we wake up thankful to live in a free nation with liberty and justice for all. But sometimes those liberties can be put in jeopardy, and you may have questions about what to do or who to call. Let Doc Blanchard of Blanchard, Miriam, Adele, and Kirkland help you find the answers. Attorneys at law since 1974 and located in downtown Ocala. If you have legal issues, don't go it alone. Call 352-732-7218. Blanchard, Miriam, Adele, and Kirkland, helping protect your liberties every day.
On the next AM Ocala Live, Robin and I will be speaking to Carter Oosterhuis. He's the host of the new TV show Row House Showdown. He's coming on to talk to us about the second Empire State Building made out of toilet paper rolls.
News Bites, the hottest news and current events served bite-size.
Hank Whittier will be in the studio bringing you veterans news as he does each and every Thursday.
Eric Ryback is a marketing executive at National Geographic and MapQuest. He'll be on the air speaking about his new set of books, Rail USA, 1,200 rail attractions across the United States.
And then the grandson of Groucho Marx is coming on. His name is Andy Marx, and he's an award-winning writer and photographer, and he's got a new book. It's called Royalties, based on the life of his grandfather, Groucho Marx, and his other grandfather, renowned songwriter, Gus Kahn.
Dr. Grodenoff Nelson is a primary care physician with family care specialists. He'll be on the air speaking about the importance of having a primary care provider.
All of that plus Fun with Joe on the next AM Ocala Live, right here on The Source, WOCA 96.3 FM.
1370 AM.
Here's what you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
We should eat our larger meals earlier in the day so we have energy, and eat our smallest meal at night so the body can focus on sleeping. Successful relationships aren't supposed to be perfect. They require vulnerability. Telling yourself that a guy isn't good enough, our expert says you're really just giving yourself an excuse to stop trying. Couples should send 2 texts a day that provoke interest, like, "I want to tell you about this cool vacation idea I had."
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
Why you gotta be so rude? Don't you know I'm human too? Why you gotta be so rude? I'm gonna marry you anyway. Marry that girl. Marry you anyway. Marry that girl.
You know how we just don't ever know what's good for us and bad for us anymore. So we've been doing this show 3 years now, coming on 3 years, and we've had it all. You know, coffee's bad for you. Coffee good for you, coffee bad for you, coffee good for you. Glass of red wine or two a drink, good for you. Certain alcohol at certain times, certain people, not good for you. We never know what's good for you and what's bad for you. It turns out a lot of the things we thought were bad for us aren't, like butter. People are actually putting butter in their coffee now. And it's supposed to be healthy because
coffee and butter sound gross.
It doesn't matter what it sounds, it's healthy. It helps you lose weight. There's a cover story in the Time magazine about everybody in New York, for instance, puts butter in, not fake, butter in their coffee.
Everybody in New York.
Well, I'm just telling you. I have to coach you up on these things, but this is what it is. Now, red meat. I'm a red meat person. I like it. I did say to my wife a long time ago, 30 years ago, one of these days you're going to find out red meat's not good for you. What I didn't realize about it was what was in red meat. The steroids and things that were in there, they were bad for you. But they're saying in this article, which I'm reading on Yahoo now, despite the talk about his health, about what is good or bad for you, red meat will either lower your cholesterol or help you slim down, as some studies say. It will set you back on the fast track to diabetes. And, what are you going to do? What do you do? What is your view on red meat, Tom? I don't know.
I'm a huge red meat guy.
I am too. And so one of the biggest complaints is it's bad for your heart. But a study in 1999 says that that heart disease in vegetarians, regular meat eaters, and occasional meat eaters have found that vegetarians experience the lowest rate of ischemic heart disease. Another study conducted that year claimed that because the saturated fats are blamed for the heart disease, meat eaters can happily live forever. So they consume leaner cuts if they do that. So 2004 research showed that women who consume excessive red meat likely to contract type 2 diabetes. Add to that study conducted in 2009, which found that those who consume red meat, that would be beef, lamb, pork, etc., were 30% more likely to have heart disease and cancer. Instead of cutting out meat completely, the researchers suggested baking and poaching the meat rather than grilling it or frying it. It seems to be just cut back on the burgers and poach our hot dogs would be okay, right?
Well, I believe pork's a white meat, actually. But beef is a good red meat, and my grandmother ate a pound of bacon a day every day of her life and lived to be 98. I think it goes to individual, buddy. All these studies are great, but individual, you've eaten unhealthy most of your life, and you're a ripe old age and going to live 20 years longer.
Well, I don't know. I've had streaks. I've taken pretty good of myself in terms of not overindulging in alcohol and just getting good rest. That's helped a little bit. And
that does help.
And Miss Joni cooks good meals, healthy meals.
He does cook good.
So this thing called L-carnitine, found in red meat, is the culprit, apparently. L-carnitine was proven to be devoured by bacteria that live in the gut. This is what Laurie tells you about it. Then converted to trimethylene N oxide, which is a compound that improved to clog arteries, at least in mice. L-carnitine is found in plenty of foods like asparagus, ice cream, but a much higher concentration in beef, pork, and lamb. The redder the meat, the greater amount of L-carnitine. 4 ounces of cooked beef contains 87 to 99 milligrams of the compound. So just a few little notes about red meat. Me, I'm sticking with it. I'm going to eat the organic, and that's what I'll be glad to have. So I'm a red meat guy. Let's go out with tweets and quotes here in the first hour of the Voice of Ocala. Get ready for Don Cushing. I have to find him, Tom. I know we're running out of time. All right, here we go. The whole problem, that's yesterday's. I can't do those. Well, we'll find him here in a second. Just calm down. Maybe I'll get him in, maybe I won't. You never know. Here we go.
In the next 20 seconds, you're not getting him.
All right, the system. Oh, well, I got that. That's an old one there. You know what we're going to do?
We're gonna go to break.
I guess we're going to go to break and get it in the next hour. I don't have them. So we'll have those for you in the next break.
You know, it's only radio, but
there's some good ones. There's some good. I just can't find them right now. It's been kind of a crazy day. This is what happens when we do our other show prior to this one. Our mind doesn't get in. All right, we'll take a break. Come back next. We'll hear from Don Cushing, Ocala, Iowa, Ocala, right here on the Voice of Ocala.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're live and local on the Source.
And although this wave is stringing us along, just know you're not alone, 'cause I'm gonna make this place your home.
Commercial Bank approval. Vehicle purchase process of fixed rate allowance.
Hey Ocala, does your old car pass this coolness test? Does it smell like a dirty gym bag? Guzzle gas at the pump? Embarrass you at work? If so, then it's time to get back to cool in a nicer, newer car today.
Chris Spears here from Prestige Auto Sales. Summer was great for business, but soon the cooler temperatures will drag down my sales. So this month, I'm helping you get back to cool. Bring me in your old car, and I'll give you up to $3,853 more than it's worth.
Worried about the credit history pop quiz? No need to cram for this exam.
With our For the People credit approval process, we will help you make the grade with banks and lenders who want to get you approved. Getting back to cool is easier than algebra.
You deserve a car that's too cool for school, but don't miss the bus.
My Back to Cool event ends when we've helped 57 people get cool in a nicer, newer car. I'm Chris Spears, and I'm a dealer for the people.
Visit us at Prestige Auto Sales or call 694-1234. Yes, 694-1234. See you at Prestige.
Hi, I'm Buddy Martin, the host of The Voice of Ocala, every weekday from 3 to 6 right here on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM. A lot of people ask me, how do you keep a muzzle on Tom Schmitz? Forget about it.
Hi, I'm Tom Ingram, CEO of Gateway Bank, the new old-fashioned bank. Let us introduce you to Ocala, a simple way to bring your business online. Through this relationship, your business can have a fully functioning website in less than 30 minutes. We will also provide you support with social media, sales tracking, e-commerce, and online scheduling, which is all optimized for mobile users. Ocala, now at Gateway Bank, Silver Springs Boulevard, Ocala. Come visit our technology center for your total small business solution. I'm Tom Ingram, and I'll see you there.
My name is Bo Briggs. I'm a sixth-generation Ocala, and I practice law with my father at the Briggs Law Firm. Over the years, we've seen many changes to Ocala and many changes in our profession. What has not changed is our commitment to our clients. You will speak with and get to know your attorney. That will never change. A lawyer will personally handle your case, not a paralegal. So if you've been injured in an accident and would appreciate personal attention, you can reach us at 671-4600 or learn more at thebriggslawfirm.com.
Here's what you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
We should eat our larger meals earlier in the day so we have energy, and eat our smallest meal at night so the body can focus on sleeping. Successful relationships aren't supposed to be perfect. They require vulnerability. Telling yourself that the guy isn't good enough, our expert says you're really just giving yourself an excuse to stop trying. Couples should send 2 texts a day that provoke interest, like, I want to tell you about this cool vacation idea I had.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
Don't get caught without your daily source of senior deals. Pick up your copy of the Senior Voice newspaper. It's your source for schedule and events tailored to seniors, with information you need, like a list of free events in the area. We even have Tom's Picks, a free referral for people who are looking for a company to do work for them. Tom's Picks will refer the company to you that fits your needs, and all we ask in return is that you tell them where you heard about them. For more information, call Tom's Picks, 352-804-1223. And pick up your copy of the Senior's Voice at most any business up and down the 200 corridor.
Now read Ocala Downtown newspaper online.
You've got a garden, and we've got a show for you called You've Got a Garden with your host, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. Carol Ann answers your questions about your flowers, your veggies, your grass, your trees, even questions about your bugs. And she's only on WOCA, so don't miss Carol Ann Baldwin and You've Got a Garden each Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on WOCA The Source.
Hi, I'm Yvette, and I'm here to tell you a few things about ABC Frederick's Appliance. They sell not only new, but used guaranteed appliances. When you call ABC Frederick's Appliance, they will provide service on what they sell and any appliances that you own. ABC Frederick's Appliance is located in Bellevue, right over the railroad tracks. Call 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. ABC Frederick's Appliance.
News Talk 1370. WOCA invites you to discover your full business potential. News Talk Radio is the perfect environment for your advertising. WOCA's News Talk format pinpoints information-hungry, better educated, high-income adults. So use us to talk to them. Call 732-8000. 732-8000. We're Ocala News Talk Radio. News Talk 1370 WOCA.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Fox News Radio, I'm Jane Metzler.
He was courageous to the end.
John Foley on the brutal videotaped beheading of his son James Foley by an ISIS militant. Foley was covering the civil war in Syria when he was abducted in 2012. President Obama, who called the family, says the country is heartbroken as for the ISIS terrorists.
And no faith teaches people to massacre innocents. No just God would stand for what they did yesterday and what they do every single day.
British Prime Minister David Cameron responding,
let me condemn completely the barbaric and brutal act that has taken place.
He says it appears Foley's killer is a British citizen. The Pentagon conducting more airstrikes against ISIS may send up to 300 more troops to Baghdad. And Attorney General Holder in Ferguson, Missouri getting an update on the Michael Brown investigation. Fox News, we report, you decide.
Too many burgers topped with chicken fried steak dipped in nacho cheese would do a number to your arteries. Grime and sludge do the same to your engine, but without that delicious flavor. Luckily, Napa has Seafoam motor treatment for just $7. So with $7, grab some Seafoam at Napa and get your engine's arteries clean. And eat a vegetable every once in a while. Conquer the job with Napa Know-How. At participating Napa Auto Parts stores while supplies last. Offer expires 8/31/14.
America was built by people with a few dollars and a dream. And while many don't know it, there's one path to success that still only requires a dream and about $10. That's right. If your dream is to start or grow your business, something as simple as the right business card could make all the difference. And today at Vistaprint.com, you can get 500 full-color business cards for only $9.99. That's right, only $9.99. Just go to Vistaprint.com and enter promo code 2000 at checkout. That's Vistaprint.com, promo code 2000.
Yes, it's time again for Buddy Martin. Call him up and tell him what you're thinking. But be kind because he's doing the best he can.
I'm just sick of all the amateur stuff, you know? I mean, like, if I'm paying top dollar, I want a little production value, you know? Like some editing, transition, something, some music.
Don't worry, we didn't leave you.
He's gone? He's not gone. That's the whole point. He's never gone.
Our bosses say we gotta stay.
Check out the name tag. You're in my world now, Grandma.
Bow to your sensei. Bow to your sensei. It's time for the second hour of The Voice of Ocala. Hoo-ah!
You ever come across anything like time travel?
Come on, stick around. It's free.
If you win, you win. If you lose, you still win.
My pleasure now to introduce a guy who was involved in a business here, which is, I think, a major economic driver, and one of which I'm glad to hear because I'm one of their customers. My doctor is Michael Marsh, and Michael had originally planned to be here today. He's an eye surgeon, but he couldn't come, so he sent the boss instead. And at last minute notice, Don Cushing, who's the CEO for Ocala Eye, joins us on the program. Thanks a lot for taking time for your busy day and filling in for Michael.
Well, thanks, buddy. It is great to be here, and I'm also concerned about the weather.
Yes.
I mean, as you know, I'm from up north.
Yes, you are.
I came down here to get away from this, and this could easily be Portland, Maine, or Portland, Oregon today.
Or Seattle.
Or Seattle, absolutely.
Exactly. Well, you've had you've been around a few places. You've had some interesting jobs. I read your bio today, and you and I have had a chance to chat once before. So I'm interested to catch up on some of that. But you had a really interesting comment today on the phone, which I want to get to at this point in the next few minutes, because I think it's unusual. I suppose maybe it's not. Maybe the healthcare business is different, but there are a lot of different views of Obamacare, or the Affordable Health Care Act, as is also known as. And it seems like most people are against it, and they sort of demonized it. And you hear people talking about, well, as soon as Obama leaves, they're going to strike it down and whatever. I don't know that much about the fine print of it, but I know that people who can't get care, who have no money, is a bad thing. And a lot of people in this country, I remember almost 50 million at one point, uninsured people. And we don't have to, it's pretty simple to figure out what happens if someone gets sick in your house with no insurance. It can ruin you financially completely, and some people don't go to get their health taken care of because they can't afford it. So we're going to get in that issue of Obamacare, healthcare, and whatever at some point with Ocala Eye, because you're in the healthcare business. And
go right to the headline.
Absolutely, absolutely, right to the headline. And then I'm really interested in some of the things you did. I mentioned earlier you somehow wrangled a way to be in charge of a dormitory with 300 women. I haven't figured that one out yet.
That's an old story, but it's true that I graduated from Boston College too many years ago to count, I guess, 77. And I left there with 2 degrees and no skills, but I had some experience paying my tuition running a dormitory, and I needed to eat. And I found a job in Gorham, Maine, just outside of Portland, Maine, as a dormitory hall director. And it so happened that it was the women's dorm. And And people have often asked me, what do you know about women? I said, you don't have to know anything about women to run a women's dorm. You have to know about men.
And the second thing that caught my eye was the fact that you taught the Dale Carnegie course. Now, as a young man growing up, I don't know what it is today. At that point, everybody's mother said, you need to take the Dale Carnegie course. You need to learn how to beat people and remember their names and all that sort of stuff. And, of course, I never did, but and the result shows. But the fact is, I want to talk about that a little bit. But let's talk about Ocala I for a second, because it's a big operation. I mean, if you've not been there, and I have in the last 5 years been there quite a few times, and it's a company. It's a group of doctors. I think, is it 14 doctors? How many doctors are there?
13.
13. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of specialty areas. I mean, there's some people, like my doctor specializes in glaucoma and cataracts and things of that nature, and people who get to be that age have to have cataract surgery. Most of them do. But there's far more specialty items in Ocala I. And, I mean, it's amazing. You say, well, I want to talk about so-and-so, so this doctor takes care of that. So how many different specialties do you have?
Well, we cover general ophthalmology, general eye care, then cornea, glaucoma, retina, premium and refractive cataract surgery, which is sort of designer cataract surgery, if you will, so you can see up close and far away. I think that probably covers all the big specialties. Yeah. But, the ophthalmologists have been done a wonderful job in taking the smallest organ in the body and dividing it into at least 5 subspecialties.
That's amazing. That's a great point.
We don't do neuro-ophthalmology, although there is a neuro-ophthalmology specialty, and it's rare that people need that here. So generally, those folks would go up to Shands. But for the things that people need day to day, we cover all of that stuff. And, in this country, you hear a lot about diabetes. And diabetes is a disease which, if it's uncontrolled, is sight-threatening. And that generally manifests itself in changes in the back of the eye in the retina, which you might think of as the business end of the eye. It's the place where the light falls on the back of your eye, and then the image has to make its way to the brain. And if all that's not working well, that's a bad thing. So diabetes is a big problem as people age, macular degeneration.
Yeah, that's what I hear about.
Yeah, and it used to be when I started in this business too many years ago, people would come in with macular degeneration, and really what you did was you spent 15 or 20 minutes with them trying to console them about the fact that they were going to that they were going to go blind. And today, with these new anti-VEGF agents, which it takes a PhD in chemistry to understand how they work, but they inhibit this disease. And so people today, particularly if they catch it early, can stop, and in some rare cases actually reverse the effects. So all of this to say that, it's my opinion, and I think the opinion of our doctors, that, if you get to be over 55, it's time to start establishing a regular relationship with an ophthalmologist.
I've contemplated that, and that's certainly one of the many things that you offer. Don Cushing, CEO of Ocala I, is my guest, and he'll be with us for another segment. I'm going to come back in a minute and ask him, which is harder, helping manage 13 doctors or 300 women? And what does he think of Obamacare? Coming up next right here on the Voice of Ocala with Buddy Martin, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Hi, this is Randy Briggs of the Briggs Law Firm. Traditional help for truly injured. We trademark registered this belief years ago as our description of our practice at the Briggs Law Firm. By traditional help, we mean that clients actually meet with a partner in the firm who will personally handle their case, not a paralegal. Well, what about truly injured? We limit our practice to injury claims having merit with clients who indeed have been injured. So if you or a loved one have been truly injured, compare our credentials at thebriggslawfirm.com or call us at 671-4600.
Regions Bank has big bank ability but possesses small bank agility. Utilizing tools like Raymond Andrews and his team of 6 mortgage experts with 100 years of experience in the mortgage industry and 50 years experience as members of the Regions Bank team. Mortgage lending is personal and important, and you deserve someone that will lead you through a positive process. Raymond and his team use local mortgaging processes like local appraisers and local closing to help you have a positive experience, and they habla Espanol as well. So whether you need a conventional, FHA, USDA, or VA loan, or you even need a construction loan, the mortgage team of your local Regions Bank has the knowledge and experience to guide you through the process. So contact Raymond Andrews and his team of mortgage experts at 352-854-4104. That's 352-854-4104. Regions Bank, it's time to expect more.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And so is State Farm agent Angie Lewis, working hard to serve her community as a citizen and insurance agent. Angie wants to help you as you adjust your insurance needs to your life, from everything to helping educate your teen driver to protecting your family against everyday risk. She wants to change the way you perceive insurance by developing relationships with her clients, which is why Angie and her staff are proud to be a part of so many good causes in Ocala. In turn, she has chosen to single out those who step up as leaders. Each month on the Voice of Ocala, Angie spotlights a good neighbor, saluting those who give exceptional service or do random acts of kindness to others. For this, Angie was written up in State Farm's National Magazine. Angie also supports local businesses with a regular Biz Buzz. The Angie Lewis State Farm Agency is located at 1122 Northeast 36th Avenue, where visitors are always welcome and the coffee pot is always on.
Legally Yours, brought to you by Fuller & Fuller Attorneys at Law. On the air every Wednesday morning at 10:30 a.m. with John Fuller, a board-certified civil trial lawyer for over 25 years. John welcomes your questions, from business to complex family matters to legal disputes. So tune in every Wednesday morning at 10:30 a.m. for Legally Yours with John Fuller, right here on WOCA 1370 AM and 96.3 FM, The Source.
Whether you're building it up or knocking it down, get it done, rent it now. Sunbelt Rentals is here to make your job a little easier. Our knowledgeable staff will help you find the right equipment for any job, big or small. Did you know that Sunbelt Rentals carries heaters, air conditioners, generators, lighting, traffic control, and so much more? So whether you're building it up or knocking it down, we've got the equipment you need. Get it done, rent it now. And right now, for a limited time, you can have it for less. Just by mentioning this ad, if you rent it Friday afternoon, you can keep it the whole weekend and only pay for one day. But this is a limited time offer, so stop into Sunbelt Rentals today, Northwest 27th, just a quarter mile east of I-75. For more information, just give us a call, 352-369-9101. 352-369-9101. Sunbelt Rentals. Get it done, rent it now. 352-369-9101.
The hottest CD deal this summer is with Florida Credit Union. Our summer CD special includes a short 25-month term combined with 1.51% APY. Take advantage of this high-yield CD special. Offer good through Saturday, August 30th, 2014. In DeLand, call 386-738-4717. In Ocala, call 352-237-8222. Florida Credit Union, connecting your money to your life. Federally insured by the NCUA. Offer subject to change at any time. $10,000 minimum.
Back with Don Cushing, CEO of Ocala I. Gosh, we got a lot to cover. We're talking Red Sox during the break. We won't get to that today on the program, but I want to get to these two things that you're doing. You have 13 doctors there. I can only imagine what that must be like. And you had 300 women in a dormitory. And you can just tell me honestly, which is tougher to manage?
Well, I have to tell you, there are fewer fights managing the eye doctors. It's very interesting because people often in my profession, people will say, "What do you do for work?" And you say, "Well, I'm a professional cat herder." I mean, doctors doctors by their nature are independent folks, and I think, given their druthers, they'd all rather have a simple shop and a couple of staffers and focus entirely on their patients. And I think that independence and that ability to sort things out, all of that makes for a better doctor. It doesn't always make for a better team player. And so generally in this profession, people say, well, it is kind of hard to manage doctors. What is so interesting is that, when I was in Portland, Oregon, and I was making a choice as to where I wanted to spend the tail end of my career, and I have to tell you, Ocala was not, on my
not on your radar.
Not on my radar. And through a series of coincidences, the former guy was retiring, and somebody suggested I speak to him. And I came here, and I was like, oh, Ocala, because it's kind of out of the way. I've been living in the big city. But what attracted me was I found 13 of the nicest professionals I've met in my career. And not only are they smart and well-educated, but they're just really decent people, and that comes through in the way that they take care of patients. And frequently when I go out, I say I'm from Ocala, I'm a patient of Dr. Jank or Dr. Morris or Dr. Schwenk in particular, because he's been here, since the beginning. And everybody has great stories. So what is typically true about managing medical practices is not true in Ocala, and that was the thing that attracted me. And I'll say, people live in their own world, and they lose perspective about what the outside here might look like. The talent of medical professionals in this community, not just eye care professionals, is exceptional.
We have some great health care in this city. I tell you what, we're blessed.
Yeah, absolutely. And I can say that having lived in all four corners of the country, and it's as good as any metropolitan center.
Interesting. And back to the idea of doctors. Look, I want my doctor to be obsessive compulsive. I don't care if he's a good team player or not. I want him to look out for me. That's what I care about. Now, I get the team part thing, but to me, I understand. Geniuses are a little bit different, and you know that. You're managing 13 distinct personalities here.
Absolutely.
So this is like having 13 quarterbacks on one team or whatever.
Right.
And so doctors are different cats. I want to tell you that. I want to get back to the story of your journey and how you got here. Now, Ocala, I'm always fascinated by how you just mentioned the job, the situation. You were in Arizona at the time?
Actually, Portland, Oregon.
Portland, Oregon. All right, on the other side of the world.
Yep.
And you hear about this place called Ocala, Florida. Had you heard of it before?
Well, actually, it happened even more strangely than that, is that I was contemplating, I guess I'll confess to your world that I'm 60 years old, and I was contemplating starting a brand new business, which we may yet do in Ocala.
What kind of business, may I ask?
Concierge medicine. And
concierge medicine?
Concierge medicine, yes, which we may yet do here in Ocala with my partners here, but that's sort of another story. And it occurred to me, since I was probably going to destine myself to be poor for a period of time, that I at least ought to go and check out the alternatives. And so I went to the professional meeting in San Diego, and I'd had some job interviews set up, and I had lunch with some professional colleagues, and I said, I'm looking around, I have some interviews, and they said, that's interesting. And an hour later, I ran into the guy's wife in the hallway. And she says, oh, by the way, this guy in Ocala is retiring. You should call him. And I couldn't find him. I finally found him on LinkedIn. I sent him a LinkedIn message from my iPhone and forgot about it. And the rest is sort of history. So
it really is
totally serendipitous, yeah. And I couldn't be happier with the choice. Largely because, what determines, I think, it's not just the work. You can sort of do that anywhere, but it's the people that you work with. And we have 153 employees, moms, dads, single moms, college educated, high school educated, and they are just a first-class group of people, and they're fun to work with. And what I love about my job is that it is mostly to make it possible for them to do their jobs.
I'm going to say this, and I don't want it to sound gratuitous, but it's true. And I said this, my most recent visit there, I went in and had my checkup, came out. And I thought about, this is a pleasant place to come. There are not many doctor's offices you go into that you feel like you're welcome and you're part of, and people are nice to you, whatever. And so I went to check my next appointment, and I told the young woman there, I want to say to you, it's a pleasure to come to Ocala Eye, because people treat you with respect and dignity, and they're very thoughtful, and I really meant that, And you can give me the $20 now after the show, but I mean the bottom line is that's true, and that was and I don't say that about that many places. So you've done a marvelous job. 2 years ago you came here, was it 2?
Yes.
Okay, so you found your place on the map. Had you ever been to this part of Florida?
No. In fact, what is strange is that when I was running my first eye practice in Maine, my Uncle Lonnie lived somewhere in Florida, and he had goats. And he learned that in eye practice, you used little tubes of antibiotics, but there were leftovers. And he caught wind of this, and he said, could you ship me your leftover antibiotics for my goat eye, okay?
You're making this up.
No,
this
I'm
can't
not.
be real.
I'm making it up. And so, I had the nurses put the thing in a little box, and then periodically I'd ship them a box. And I didn't pay any attention to where it was going. I was shipping. My Uncle Lonnie lived here in Ocala probably for 10 years until he died, and I'd never had any clue that was the case. So, no, I like everybody else from the Northeast. I've taken trips down here to Disneyland or Disney World and Fort Lauderdale and the like. But
never saw the real part of Florida.
No, and it's much nicer up here. I can say that.
Well, good. Let's talk about your sports leanings. Boston College, football program's okay. Tough in the ACC, tougher than it used to be up on Chestnut Hill. Red Sox, you're in your glory days right now, obviously. Yes. Patriots didn't quite get there, but they've had their day without question. And, of course, the Celtics. And most people from Boston I've known are huge Bruin fans. Are you a huge Bruin fan?
Well, I confess I don't watch a lot of sports. I should be ashamed to say that if I watch sports, I enjoy watching golf on television. But the Bruins, I go back away with them because when I was a freshman at Boston College, I had a roommate from Pawtucket, Rhode Island, and he was a big Bruins fan. And we had a little Zenith TV that was probably an 8-inch screen. And he also liked the Celtics. And, of course, no remote control in those days. And he would sit on the end of my bed with one hand. I swear it would get longer by the minute as the game went on. And he'd flip the channels.
Remember those days well.
He'd go back and forth between the Bruins and the...
Was that Bobby Orr back then?
That's what we used to say. Jesus saves and Esposito scores on the rebound.
I remember that. Yeah.
That's exactly right. So, and it was, that was, of course, that was a fun time to be in Boston, and everybody was a hockey fan then.
Well, my point to you wasn't that you watch it now, but everybody grows up with it. Oh. And you can't escape the culture of sports, particularly hockey and baseball. By the way, happy birthday to Bill Russell today. Really? 80 years old today. How about that?
Oh, my goodness.
How about that for a legend, huh?
I remember one of his teammates, Tom Sanders, coming to speak at my high school. And, when you talk about of sports being sort of ingrained, my grandmother lived in South Boston, right across from the famous South Boston bathhouses.
Southie.
And Southie, that's right. I got beat up many times in Southie as a kid. But I have the very fond memory of falling asleep when I visited with my grandfather sitting out on the porch with his little radio on, listening to the Boston Red Sox, and you'd hear the Jets going over and landing at Logan. And so even today, I think I would rather listen to a baseball game on the radio.
Something about baseball on the radio that's just pure. It's absolutely pure.
Absolutely.
My guest is the CEO of Ocala Eye, Don Cushing. Just a couple of minutes to go. I got to get to the Dale Carnegie part because I was always fascinated by this. You got to go take the Dale Carnegie course. And what did you teach? It's about obviously learning to communicate with other people, which, by the way, is problem we all still have, communication with each other. But you teach people to remember names. What was the technique there? How did you teach your students to remember names?
Jeez, I forgot.
You should have said, I forgot, Fred.
I forgot. Well, I can't remember Fred, yeah. I think we had stop, look, and listen was basically it. It was a very simple thing where when someone introduces, you have to stop thinking about yourself and listen, look at them, and then listen to them. So it's no different than crossing a railroad track. And that's the thing that we all forget to do is we say, hi, how are you? And then, who are you? Or whatever. And our thoughts go totally someplace else. And then 4 seconds later, you can't remember their name. And so all of the Dale Carnegie stuff is, at least the skills development, is habit development. And so when you get in the habit of stopping, looking, listening, then more often than not, you'll be able to remember that name. And it's also very helpful if you say their name after. So, hi, buddy, how are you? You know, so that way you've given yourself an auditory cue.
And word association sometimes, too. Person, sometimes you get a name, a feature of the person.
And, you know, it's very interesting that people think about Dale Carnegie as remembering names and, you know, how to win friends and influence people.
What's it really about?
You know, what it really is about is a course in human relations. It's about how to get along with people. And I taught the sales course, and I taught their management courses. And they're basically methods of focusing on understanding what the other person wants and needs. And if you put that in the context of human relations, I use that every day. You know, with 153 people, and you spend the better you listen, the better you do.
And by the way,
that's sort of a root of the thing.
The subtitle, How to Win Friends and Influence People.
Yes.
Maybe it'd be a good idea to get some of those books out, get them reprinted, and ship them to Washington. That would help things up there just a little. Don Cushing, CEO of Ocala. It's been interesting. Thanks for coming by. I hope you'll do it again. And,
Thank you.
And look forward to catching up some more, and good luck to the Red Sox.
I'd be happy to, yes, and good luck to the Red Sox.
All right, and I guess the Patriots too. All right, we'll take a break, come back. We got Fake or Factoid. We'll get a weather report from Tom. Lots more coming your way right here on the Voice of Ocala.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Because I'm happy, clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy, clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy, clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy, clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Hey, bring me down, can't nothing bring me down.
Hi, this is Randy Briggs of the Briggs Law Firm. My son Bo and I practice exclusively in the representation of accident victims. And we've been asked many times why we would support and sponsor the program Ask the Cops with Sheriff Blair and Chief Graham, who are in the world of criminal law enforcement. Well, these legal rights actually overlap. In civil law enforcement, we're in the business of recovering for victims of accidents that which has been taken away from them and holding the responsible party accountable. Both civil law and criminal law share those common goals. So we're all in the field of law enforcement, and for that reason, we're proud to sponsor Ask the Cops on the Voice of Ocala with Buddy Martin. So if your family or a friend needs help in an accident situation, feel free to contact us at our website, www.The Briggs Law Firm. We're located in the Ocala Historic District.
Hey everybody, it's Tom James here to tell you about our new football show on WOCA, Southern Pigskin Tonight. Football season, the absolute best time of the year, bar none. You'll love the lineup as we focus on the stories, the people, and the games that are Southern football. Buddy Martin's your host, and Tom Schmitz and I will talk Southern football with him for a full hour. Terry Bradshaw joins Buddy weekly to share his insights on college and pro. And we go inside the huddle with our Southern Pigskin teammates from the popular show 3 and Out. Kevin Thomas, B.J. Bennett, and Matt Osborne, heard in Brunswick, Savannah Hilton Head, and Blackshear Waycross. Southern Pigskin Tonight, Thursdays at 6 p.m. on The Source, down here where football is a way of life.
Fox News Radio, I'm Jane Metzler.
He was courageous to the end.
John Foley on the brutal videotape beheading of his son James Foley by an ISIS militant. Foley was covering the civil war in Syria when he was abducted in 2012. President Obama, who called the family, says the country is heartbroken as for the ISIS terrorists.
And no faith teaches people to massacre innocents. No just God would stand for what they did yesterday and what they do every single day.
British Prime Minister David Cameron responding.
Let me condemn completely the barbaric and brutal act that has taken place.
He says it appears Foley's killer is a British citizen. The Pentagon conducting more airstrikes against ISIS may send up to 300 more troops to Baghdad. And Attorney General Holder in Ferguson, Missouri getting an update on the Michael Brown investigation. Fox News, we report, you decide.
Too many burgers topped with chicken fried steak dipped in nacho cheese would do a number to your arteries. Grime and sludge do the same to your engine, but without that delicious flavor. Luckily, Napa has Seafoam motor treatment for just $7. So with $7, grab some Seafoam at Napa and get your engine's arteries clean. And eat a vegetable every once in a while. Conquer the job with Napa Know-How. At participating Napa Auto Parts stores while supplies last. Offer expires 8/31/14.
America was built by people with a few dollars and a dream. And while many don't know it, there's one path to success that still only requires a dream and about $10. That's right. If your dream is to start or grow your business, something as simple as the right business card could make all the difference. And today at Vistaprint.com, you can get 500 full-color business cards for only $9.99. That's right, only $9.99. Just go to Vistaprint.com and enter promo code 2000 at checkout. That's Vistaprint.com, promo code 2000.
Sign up for this year's Marion County Heart Walk and be part of a local movement that's helping others live longer, healthier lives. Join me, Corey Poole, your 2014 Marion County Heart Walk Chairman, and walk with me on Saturday, October the 4th at the Baseline Road Trailhead. It's a free event promoting physical activity and heart-healthy living. To find out how you can help fight the #1 killer of all Americans, visit us online at marionheartwalk.org.
Career Source Citrus Levy Marion brings together business and community partners, economic development leaders, and educational providers to connect employers with qualified, skilled talent and job seekers with employment and career development opportunities. Tune in the first and third Wednesday of each month at 9:30 a.m. to Career Source Citrus Levy Marion and learn how they can help you.
That's the sound of your skin cooking. Because it's August, it's Florida, and it's hot. That's the sound of cool, refreshing water as you splash into your new Radiant Pool from ASP, America's swimming pool company. And right now is the perfect time to put a Radiant Pool in your yard. Not only will you be cooling off in style while adding value to your home, but now through Labor Day, with any Radiant Pool purchase, you'll receive an all-inclusive Cancun getaway vacation for 4. So you can enjoy your new pool all year round and get an incredible getaway vacation anytime you want it. And Radiant Pools can be installed underground, above ground, and anywhere in between. And did you know that you could finance your new pool with an interest rate as low as 4.99%? But you have to act now. This deal ends on Labor Day. So call ASP, America's Swimming Pool Company, 352-861-7229. That's 352-861-7229. Or stop by their new showroom, 9169 South Highway 441 in Ocala.
I guess I'm wrong about the ice bucket challenge. Everybody's doing it. I'm just a little tired of it now. I see Nick Saban's challenge somebody. Will Muschamp and Paul Feinbaum. Now, I'd pay to see Feinbaum dump a bucket of water on his head. Myself, personally, I'd give money to that. Anyway, such foolishness can wait. Meanwhile, we've got the managing editor of the Star Banner, our friend Jim Ross, who joins us now on the program. Jim, welcome back, man.
Well, thank you very much, buddy.
For those of you at home who are watching on your computer, I mean, the man is resplendent in pink today, and you know, and he looks like a manly man with it on too, I must say. So, I don't know if your wife gave that to you or if you did it on your own, but it was good thinking, whatever did it.
I put this ensemble together myself.
No,
I did.
Well, you did well.
Thank you.
And it even matches too. That's what's incredible. So, We have to laugh every now and then. Sometimes the news gets so grim. I know all the stuff in Ferguson and the beheading of the journalists, Obama talking about that today. It's a little grim sometimes, but nonetheless, we soldier on, and and certainly thoughts and prayers with all the people in harm's way, the military and the journalists. By the way, as Tom said in the first hour, you don't sometimes think about the journalists who are in danger. You just take for granted they're part of the scenery, but there's a lot of danger on those assignments, and as we see, and not only the danger of being hurt, but to being gruesomely murdered, which happened to the young gentleman named Foley today. So, you ever think about your reporters when you send them out on assignment?
Well, fortunately, we haven't had too many situations that would be dangerous. I've had some in the past, where things have come up, and I know that at St. Pete Times, where we both used to work years ago, there were times when there were some situations where it was a little concerning to send a reporter out there, and you just try to be safe, send people out in teams, and hope for the best.
Absolutely. Oddly enough, I've been in situations in sports where I remember coming out of the stadium in Detroit in the World Series, where there was a number of people throwing cans and bottles at the press bus, and in the strip, the media line across from the Tiger Stadium was a body lying there. That's a little unnerving when you leave a ballpark, things like that. But nothing like the people face overseas and war, obviously. So let's talk about our fair city and our fair county and our area that you cover in the Star Banner. And you got some news about the county commission, what happened in terms of we heard from more than one source that the county commission was considering a half-cent sales tax up to 2 years for projects like roads. What happened in that meeting today?
From what I understand, the proposal is not going to happen, and time is the immediate problem. There's just not enough time to get the ballot language prepared and vetted and onto a ballot in time for the November elections. Keep in mind, the early ballots have to go out to the overseas absentee voters, so this is all, backed up on the calendar. And so from what I understand, the voters will not be asked in November about the half-cent sales tax or any kind of sales tax in terms of the county. Now, I believe the school system, I think that's still alive, but as far as the county was going.
Let me ask you this question, Jim. Is it what you just reported, the county's not going to be able to do the half-cent sales tax? It's not like the last 2 or 3 county commission meetings, the only time they had to talk about this. It seems like to the layperson just watching from afar that this was a back burner issue in an election year, and they've just decided to, for Buddy's term, kick the can down the road until it got to the point where they can say, oops, sorry, we don't have enough time now. We'll have to wait till next year. Am I wrong in feeling that way?
Well, you're correct that the discussions have been going on for some time. The county commission has been meeting, or a county commissioner has been meeting with mayors from the different cities and other officials. They've come up with a list of projects where the revenue could be spent. So it certainly has been talked about quite a bit. But from what I understand at the meeting today, pretty much, and again, it was just an opportunity for the voters to vote on whether they wanted to have the additional tax. It wasn't the commission deciding.
Yeah, God forbid we get to do our constitutional right and vote on something.
So that's my understanding of what happened at the meeting today.
Perhaps we'll get some light shed on the subject, although he doesn't vote. County Administrator Lee Niblock on the program tomorrow. We're live from Mark's Downtown. We'll ask him about that. But just one more note on that, and that is that it isn't like this hasn't been discussed a lot, even on this radio show.
I'd say ad nauseum would be a good description.
That we, and again, in moderating the county commission race between Carl Zalek and Glenn Fiorella, when the subject came up, I asked the question again about it, and I was basically told, well, the public wants it. Certainly, we're open to that idea, but apparently it wasn't too late then because he would have said something about it.
Correct.
And my problem is that it's too late because you put it off. We didn't put it off. We didn't give us a chance to vote on it, And I fear that we're going to wait to a point where it's going to get so bad in the infrastructure and things like roads, never mind ballparks and things, roads and things are going to deteriorate. And then we're going to have to take 20 years to catch up with what could have been done in 5. And that's just my take on it. So let's talk about the saggy pants law. Black eye for our community, maybe a little bit?
Well, it certainly has gotten a lot of attention, and not really for the positive, I wouldn't think. Some people certainly support the idea, but you also see a lot of people saying, is this really, do we want the long arm of the law out there enforcing this? And I think a lot of people say, no, we don't. And including some people, I mean, from what I understand from today's story, the police department isn't even enforcing the ordinance at this point because the issue still seems to be somewhat in flux. I mean, certainly the ordinance is on the books, but there's still a lot of discussion about possibly changing it. So from what we reported today, the police department isn't enforcing it.
Police Chief Greg Grimm on their show, asked the cops what you do every 2 weeks at the Gateway Bank. We asked him about this several weeks ago, and he said basically, we're not going to handcuff people, and haul them off to jail. It's only enforceable on city property. He didn't say it, but he indicated today in your story that somewhat they decriminalized this thing. They aren't going to really enforce it. However, having said that, the question must be raised: why do we have the ordinance? And is it not bad for our public relations? For people in the country saying at a time when racial things are so sensitive with what's happening in Ferguson, Missouri, never mind that it looks bad in terms of our community. It's a little sensitive, isn't it?
It is, and of course the tragedy in Ferguson came up after, as we know, after the discussion of this ordinance and after it was passed. But, everything comes at a point in time, and here we are at a point in time, and it does make you look at things like this ordinance a little bit differently. I think everyone's intentions are good, so it's not a question of malice. It's just a question of what kind of public policy do you want? Is this really where we should be? And are we adequately separating the question of style and taste and standards from the law? And, I don't know that this is the way to do it. I personally don't think that it is, and I think a lot of people agree with me.
That might be servicing in one of these columns I read one of these days on Saturday by Jim Ross.
I started, Buddy will tell you, vehemently against anybody that thought this ordinance was a bad idea. But the more I think about it, and the more intelligence that gets put into it, I'm not legislating how short skirts should be or how short shorts should be. So maybe we shouldn't legislate where pants should come down.
Yeah, we talked about that. Diamond and I did in the first hour about we see things that.
Wait, am I softening up? Oh, that's not. I'm scared.
Borderline. Bad taste and almost semi-nudity by some of the people we see walking by here when it comes to cleavage. And Diamond and I were talking about it right here in this window. You can say what you want to, but is that, to some people, wouldn't that be more offensive than pants that are kind of, I don't know. Again, it's just not. Let's talk about a positive thing. This thing about the state buying this land. I was told by a county commissioner 3 months ago that the state was buying up land. They really weren't sure why. Well, this was the reason, filling in the gaps on the Greenway, which is actually something good and productive the state doing, and I applaud them for that. It looks like you had a good story from Bill Thompson, full of maps today showing us the greenways in Half Mile Creek and the one in Bellevue and Fort McCoy and Dunallen. The one. So what's your take on that?
Well, I think the Greenway is one of those wonderful things about our community and this part of Florida. And again, it's taking something that probably never should have been started, the barge canal years ago, and making something positive out of it. And it's always, from the beginning, everybody knew it would take time to put it together, for it fully to come to fruition. And we just keep taking more and more steps in that direction. And today's story, as you pointed out, the state has agreed to buy 2 parcels of land and then do a swap for a third to help fill in some of these gaps. And I think it's a neat thing that our community is able to provide this. I think there's great use there, and there will be even greater use in the future. And I think it's just a neat thing. And I think as a taxpayer, and like you said, there's so many negative stories out there, it's nice to see something going toward the positive.
Yeah, and it seems like maybe one more step toward what we need to do in terms of embracing ecotourism as something that would be a big boost for our community. This is a wonderful thing we have here, and this just enhances that, which is all good. And we're glad to see that that's going on there with the county. And hopefully we can move forward on Silver Springs and things of that nature. I'm the eternal optimist that somehow this is all going to come together, Jim.
That's right.
That's all we can hope for. We're going to take a break. Can you stay for a minute, or do you have to go?
I can stay.
Can we tantalize you with a game of fake or factoid?
The next time I beat Tom will be the first.
All right. You'll get him this time. Coming up next, Jim Ross is going to beat Tom, the big scary guy, and fake or factoid right here on the Voice of Ocala program. Stay tuned to
1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're live and local on The Source.
Hi, it's Lisa Midget with Kinetic Motion Fitness. I'm looking forward to a fun, healthy summer, and I have a few ideas that might just help you and your friends stay in shape and have fun too. Along with awesome personal training and group classes at our warm and inviting fitness studio, we also offer fitness classes at your home or business. And if you're tired of the same old, boring cake and punch party, why not let us host a hot new health trend, a fitness party at your home or office? If you're having a hard time getting to the gym this summer, because of your crazy schedule, then work out with your friends or coworkers in a private group fitness class, or host a fitness party at your home or office. We will bring you and your friends or coworkers one of our great workouts like Zumba, Pilates, Body Bar, Yoga, Tai Chi Boot Camp, or Zumba Tonics for kids. We can even help you reach your long-term goals by meeting at your place weekly for an on-location workout. Check out our website at kmfocala.com and like us on Facebook. Kinetic Motion Fitness is located just 5 minutes from downtown Ocala near the Skylark Plaza. Kinetic Motion Fitness. We're ready when you are.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And so is State Farm agent Angie Lewis, working hard to serve her community as a citizen and insurance agent. Angie wants to help you as you adjust your insurance needs to your life, from everything to helping educate your teen driver to protecting your family against everyday risk. She wants to change the way you perceive insurance by developing relationships with her clients, which is why Angie and her staff are proud to be a part of so many good causes in Ocala. In turn, she has chosen to single out those who step up as leaders. Each month on the Voice of Ocala, Angie spotlights a good neighbor, saluting those who give exceptional service or do random acts of kindness to others. For this, Angie was written up in State Farm's National Magazine. Angie also supports local businesses with a regular Biz Buzz. The Angie Lewis State Farm Agency is located at 1122 Northeast 36th Avenue, where visitors are always welcome and the coffee pot is always on.
Gene Powell Pasture Mowing. Our tractor services include bush hog, disking, front end loader, box blade, and stump grinding. We also have zero-turn mowers for the smaller paddocks, aisleways, fence rows, and lawn care. Fence row spraying is also available for weed control. We are licensed and insured. Gene Powell Pasture Mowing, 352-629-2440, or online at powellgene, Gene, at yahoo.com. Gene Powell Pasture Mowing.
Who would you feed if you had 50 chicken sandwiches from Chick-fil-A? WOCA and Chick-fil-A in the Paddock Mall have teamed up to reward one organization with 50 chicken sandwiches as a way of saying thanks for the great work that organization is doing in our community. And we need your help. See, there are so many great people doing great things that we need nominations. You can nominate your own organization or any organization you choose. Simply send an email to WOCA@WOCA.com. And in 350 words or less, tell us why the organization you are nominating should receive 50 free chicken sandwiches from WOCA and Chick-fil-A at the Paddock Mall. We'll review your nominations and then select one deserving organization each month. We'll announce the winner and even read the winning entry on the air. Make sure to include the contact name and phone number of the organization that you are nominating. And thanks from your friends at WOCA and Chick-fil-A in the Paddock Mall.
Are you a mom looking for inspiration? Are you creative? Mamazine.com is a lifestyle blog designed for the local mom to be inspired by the beauty of motherhood while staying current on local events and issues. Visit Mamazine.com today to find events around town, recipes, imaginative play ideas, and more. Mamazine.com.
Some nights I stay up, cashing in my bad luck. Some nights I call it a draw. Some nights I wish that my lips could build a castle. Some nights I wish they just fall off. But I still wake up, I still see your ghost. Oh Lord, I'm still not sure.
Jim Ross has agreed to stay on and to pummel Tom Schmitz in Faker Factor. Meanwhile, this from Tweets and Quotes, which I blew the first half of the show. This is from Werner von Braun. Research is what I'm doing when I don't know what I'm doing. I like that one, right? Sounds familiar as a journalist, right? Number 2, Oscar Wilde said, there are only 2 tragedies in life. One is not getting what one wants, and the other is getting it. And lastly, the great Albert Einstein said, there are only 2 ways to live your life. One is as though nothing is a miracle. The other is as though everything is a miracle.
Every little bird in the tall oak tree. The wise old owl.
Tweets and Quotes. Let's see if I can actually find Faker or Factoid now, Tom, because I lost feature quotes in the first part. And see if we can get a little game of Fake or Factor going here with our guest. All right. Here we go. Just hold on one second. It's coming. You know, by the way, a Faker or Factoid has been going on for what, a year now, Tom?
Yeah, yes.
And I'm still not getting. Any offers for to go on television with it. I don't understand. Our challenge to the Wheel of Fortune.
It would be boring television, me just beating people on a daily basis.
You think? What would you think your record, by the way, would be here?
I'm obviously, in a year, I'm probably like, we play it every day, so I'm probably like 320 and 45.
So what's that work out to?
That's 365 days. I even take credit for winning on Saturdays and
when you don't play it.
Yeah,
exactly. I get that. I
loss
noticed
is a win in my book. No loss is a win in my book.
There you go. All right. Well, I'll take your word for it, Tom, if you say so. Okay, let's see if I can find it. I can't, by the way.
You can't?
Let me say this. There's a couple of them I will give you is Fake or Factoid. Women go to psychiatrists 37% more often than men. Fake or Factoid?
Factoid.
Fact.
You're both correct. It is fact.
No, I said factoid.
Yeah, factoid.
You said factoid. That's even more correct.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Good.
All right. Number 2, an octopus can go through a hole the size of a dime. Fake or Factoid?
Fake.
Fake.
Both say fake. Anybody want to change their answer? You sure you want to go with that? No? You should have, because it's actually a factoid.
Wow.
All right. Let's see if I can squeeze one more out of here someplace. Oh. Women are 3 times more likely to lie than men. Single women, 5 times more likely to lie than men. Fake or Factoid?
Fake.
Yeah, I'm going with fake.
Going with fake. Well, you're both correct. Now all I have to do is come up with a number, and I'll be good to go for today. Let's see.
Gremlins have just gotten to your computer.
They really have. I'll pull one out of the sky. How many years has Terry Bradshaw been doing Fox NFL Sunday?
15.
15, says Jim.
19.
19, says Tom. It's 21. Does that make you the winner, Tom?
We know.
Oh, man. Oh, good match right down to the end, though. You had him going there. That's Terry on tonight. He'll be on next hour. Do you ever watch Terry on Fox?
I do, and please send along my apologies that I got the number wrong. I feel bad.
I would have probably said 13.
It's hard to believe Fox has been doing it for over 20 years.
I know. It seemed like yesterday I worked with Bradshaw in the NFL Today in New York. It's been 21, 22 years since I've done that. So, Jim, thanks for coming by. I appreciate it very much. Good to see you. Give our best to all the folks over there at our local paper, the Star Banner. Jim Ross, managing editor. Thank you, Jim.
Thank you, buddy.
Coming up next, Tony Barnhart, Mr. College Football, and Terry Bradshaw. The Terry Bradshaw Football Show live right here on Buddy Sports Page.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're live and local on The Source.
Cross my heart like it was Texas. And you taught me how to say.
Commercial Bank approval. Vehicle purchase price of fixed rate allowance.
Hey Ocala, does your old car pass this coolness test? Does it smell like a dirty gym bag? guzzle gas at the pump, embarrass you at work? If so, then it's time to get back to cool in a nicer, newer car today.
Chris Spears here from Prestige Auto Sales. Summer was great for business, but soon the cooler temperatures will drag down my sales. So this month, I'm helping you get back to cool. Bring me in your old car and I'll give you up to $3,853 more than it's worth.
Worried about the credit history pop quiz? No need to cram for this exam.
With our For the People credit approval process, we will help you make the grade with banks and lenders who want to get you approved. Getting back to cool is easier than algebra.
You deserve a car that's too cool for school, but don't miss the bus.
My Back to Cool event ends when we've helped 57 people get cool in a nicer, newer car. I'm Chris Spears, and I'm a dealer for the people.
Visit us at Prestige Auto Sales or call 694-1234. Yes, 694-1234. See you at Prestige.
Hi, I'm Tom Ingram, CEO of Gateway Bank, the new old-fashioned bank. Let us introduce you to Ocus, a simple way to bring your business online. Through this relationship, your business can have a fully functioning website in less than 30 minutes. We will also provide you support with social media, sales tracking, e-commerce, and online scheduling, which is all optimized for mobile users. Ocus, now at Gateway Bank, Silver Springs Boulevard, Ocala. Come visit our technology center for your total small business solution. I'm Tom Ingram, and I'll see you there.
This is Allstate Agent Kevin McDonald, and our agency is a proud sponsor of the Marion County Friday Night High School Football Game of the Week. I grew up in Ocala, and I'm proud to support high school athletics throughout Marion County. For all your insurance and employee benefit needs, contact the McDonald Agency at 622-2333. Our agency has been a proud member of the Ocala-Marion County community since 1985, with offices in Ocala and the Villages.
Hi, I'm Buddy Martin, the host of The Voice of Ocala, every weekday from 3 to 6 right here on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM. A lot of people ask me, how do you keep a muzzle on Tom Schmitz? Forget about it.
WOCA.
We are The Source, WOCA.
On the next AM Ocala Live, Robin and I will be speaking to Carter Oosterhuis. He's the host of the new TV show, Row House Showdown. He's coming on to talk to us about the second Empire State Building made out of toilet paper rolls.
News Bites, the hottest news and current events served bite-size.
Hank Whittier will be in the studio bringing you veterans news as he does each and every Thursday.
Eric Ryback is a marketing executive at National Geographic and MapQuest. He'll be on the air speaking about his new set of books, Rail USA, 1,200 rail attractions across the United States.
And then the grandson of Groucho Marx is coming on. His name is Andy Marx, and he's an award-winning writer and photographer, and he's got a new book. It's called Royalties, based on the life of his grandfather, Groucho Marx, and his other grandfather, renowned songwriter, Gus Kahn.
Dr. Grodanoff Nelson is a primary care physician with family care specialist. He'll be on the air speaking about the importance of having a primary care provider.
All of that plus Fun with Joe on the next AM Ocala Live, right here on The Source, WOCA 96.3 FM.
1370 AM.
Ted Yoho's opponent, Jake Rush, has serious new allegations to answer to. One report indicates he sneaks into candy shops and steals all the chocolate because he hates happy children. Ted Yoho's opponent, Jake Rush, causes 87% of traffic backups. It's proven by science. Jake Rush single-handedly raises gas prices and even tried to stop Al Gore from inventing the internet. And here's the truth. The over-the-top false accusations being made about Ted Yoho's opponent, Jake Rush, are why good people don't run for office. Jake Rush didn't say or do any of it. There are a lot of things Jake will admit to. He is a former deputy sheriff, a father, husband, a constitutional lawyer, a straight shooter, a Christian, and a live-action role player. What does that mean? Jake is an amateur actor. Emphasis on amateur. Find out the truth for yourself and learn about Jake's commitment to reduce the national debt, repeal Obamacare, and balance the budget. Visit JakeRushForCongress.com. Paid for by Jake Rush for Congress.
I'm Jake Rush, and I approve this message.
Habitat for Humanity of Marion County is a ministry dedicated to improving lives by providing affordable and decent housing. Help them help others by visiting the Habitat for Humanity Ocala Restore at 926 Northwest 27th Avenue. To schedule a donation, give us a call at 401-0075 and we'll come pick it up. For more information, visit ocalarestore.org. Habitat for Humanity of Marion County. Building homes, building hope, building community.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Fox News Radio, I'm Jane Metzler.
Jim was taken from us in an act of violence that shocks the conscience of the entire world.
President Obama condemning the brutal videotaped beheading of American journalist James Foley by ISIS militants. Abducted in 2012 while covering the civil war in Syria, he was on assignment for the Boston-based website Global Post. CEO Philip Balboni says millions were spent trying to get him back, describing the last communication from Foley's captors.
The message was vitriolic and filled with rage against the United States.
And a response to U.S. airstrikes against ISIS, which continued again today. Balboni also noting
there are 3 Americans who are being held hostage in Syria right now.
The Dow closing up 60, the NASDAQ down a point, the S&P up 5. Fox News, we report, you decide.
Too many burgers topped with chicken fried steak dipped in nacho cheese would do a number to your arteries. Grime and sludge do the same to your engine, but without that delicious flavor. Luckily, Napa has Seafoam motor treatment for just $7. So with $7, grab some Seafoam at Napa and get your engine's arteries clean. And eat a vegetable every once in a while. Conquer the job with Napa Know-How. At participating Napa Auto Parts stores while supplies last. Offer expires 8/31/14.
America was built by people with a few dollars and a dream. And while many don't know it, there's one path to success that still only requires a dream and about $10. That's right. If your dream is to start or grow your business, something as simple as the right business card could make all the difference. And today at Vistaprint.com, you can get 500 full-color business cards for only $9.99. That's right, only $9.99. Just go to Vistaprint.com and enter promo code 2000 at checkout. That's Vistaprint.com, promo code.
How much time? 30? 30 seconds? I'm on right now. I don't believe you.
Okay. Enough kidding around.
Ho, 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 ho.
And now it's time for the Buddy Martin Sports Page.
He actually had me stay here last night in his gym.
It's like I don't fit in. It's like I don't belong here.
Let's go talk to a couple of guys that never gamble.
Oh, see, I made Lewis a bet here. See, Lewis bet me that we couldn't both get rich and put you on the poorhouse at the same time. He didn't think we could do it.
Gambling is illegal at Bushwood, sir, and I never slice.
And now, here's Buddy.
Welcome to Buddy Sports Page on a Wednesday. What day is it, Tom?
Hump Day.
Thank you very much. And we're preparing for a terrific hour of sports here as we put together our prototype, shall we say, of our first Southern Pigskin Tonight show tomorrow night at 6 o'clock on this station, as well as ESPN Coastal Georgia in Brunswick, Waycross, Savannah, Hilton Head. We're looking forward to having that program and having the folks from the 3 and Out show on there as well.
So we're putting Eprot together, not Epcot, Eprot.
I guess with the
experimental prototype radio of tomorrow.
Yeah, there you go. We're the southern, we're the southern tier of Southern Pigskin. So we're as far as it goes down. Southern Pigskin Radio Network, which we'll be a part of tomorrow night when we do this. So
6 radio stations and goes from Ocala all the way to Hilton Head and over to Waycross.
There you go.
With Brunswick and Savannah included.
And the Golden Isles. Jekyll Isles, St. Simons.
You get St. Simons, Jekyll, you get Brunswick, you're going to get Hilton Head, Savannah, Blackshear, Waycross, Sea Island.
Yeah.
And if the wind blows right, I bet they can get us in Amelia Island.
Probably so. All right, Tom. Let's don't waste any time. Coming up in just a few minutes, Tony Barnhart. We'll get our questions ready for him because college football is upon us. He'll tell us about some of the new things this year, some of the old things this year, and what he's hearing out of some of the camps, including Alabama, Florida, Georgia, and Auburn, and places he's been visiting this year at Tony Barnhart of the SEC Network. What's in the news today, Tom, in terms of sports?
It's over, buddy. Brian Hoyer has been named the starter of the Cleveland Browns. I know you've been sitting on the edge of your seat waiting on that. The Browns committed to Hoyer over rookie Johnny Manziel to begin the 2014 season. He was the clear leader from the beginning, Coach Mike Pettin said in a statement. We maintained all along that it was close. I would prefer to go with the most experienced player. So Hoyer to start over Manziel.
Manziel must have thought he was number one because he indicated
he gave the number one signal.
Yeah.
Doctors treating Hall of Fame quarterback Jim Kelly for sinus cancer have found no evidence of remaining cancer in a follow-up screening Tuesday.
That's good news.
The treatment so far completed eliminated Mr. Kelly's pain, and his level of function is essentially returned to normal. Dr. Costantino said in a statement released by Lenox Hospital in Manhattan. Kelly will be evaluated over the coming weeks to determine if further treatment is necessary. So that's great news for the Jim Kelly family.
That certainly is. Kelly tough, they call it.
If you're a Houston Texans fan, you don't like this news. Houston Texans rookie outside linebacker Jadeveon Clowney's practice was cut 15 minutes short as he retreated to the medical tent at the Broncos' Dove Valley facility. Clowney departed practice early after colliding with Broncos tight end Jacob Tamme during a 9-on-7 drill. Clowney set the tent for the remainder of the team's joint practice, but it didn't appear he was being examined by trainers while he rested. Coach Bill O'Brien said after practice he does not know what Clowney's situation was, and he'll give you an update later in the evening. So, rookie Jadeveon Clowney,
not a good thing.
Not at practice. Urban Meyer, Ohio State coach Urban Meyer isn't ruling out that it may eventually take two quarterbacks to fill the spot vacated by the injury to Braxton Miller. As you know, Miller will officially miss the coming season. They're planning on redshirt freshman J.T. Barrett stepping into the considerable shoes of the two-time defending Big Ten Offensive Player of the Year. J.T. has about 300 competitive throws, not snaps, throws, Meyer said after practice. Where when former backup Kenny Guyton went into the game a couple years ago, I think he had 6. He's had a bunch. He's a meticulous guy, and Cardell Jones has come a long way as well. So, Coach Urban Meyer says it may take 2 quarterbacks to fill in for Braxton Miller. And finally, for the 6th year in a row, a team that hasn't made the playoffs since 2009 has increased its value. This time by 36% over last year. Forbes magazine listed.
Let me guess. Don't tell me. How about the Dallas Cowboys?
$3.2 billion is the worth Forbes magazine put on it as the healthiest margin. It's 8 consecutive seasons. It's risen in value by $900 million to become the only team worth more than $3 billion. Despite not having won a championship since 1996, the Cowboys are second in value only to Real Madrid among all global franchises. So Jerry may not be able to be a very good general manager, but he can sure turn a profit when it comes to the worth of the team.
Well, let me say this about that. Given the price of the Clippers that just went down and the fact that the Cowboys are worth $3 billion, what would you say the odds are they're going to be an NFL team in Los Angeles sometime soon? Because how much is that going to be worth?
Well, the Dodgers, they paid $2 billion for the Dodgers, they paid $2 billion for the Clippers, and now the Cowboys $3.2 billion, only behind Real Madrid in the world as a sports franchise.
All right, lots of questions about college football. We got some new coaches that are going to be going in the saddle next week. We've got a new system, which Tom talked about somewhat yesterday on his Go Long segment. And Mr. College Football will be here to answer those questions. Tony Barnhart next, right here on Buddy Sports Page for the Southern Pigskin Tonight program as well. So stay tuned to
1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're live and local on The Source. Close, but it's not that close, Alex.
Not Georgia, Golden Ocala. I'm a member at Golden Ocala, and this course has 8 tribute holes, like number 12 and 13. You know, part of Amen Corner, and the postage stamp, and the road hole. It's a phenomenal track. My family and I always have a great time at the pool and at the restaurants. They've got 3, you know. The kids love the tennis programs. My wife practically lives at the spa, and I've been bulking up with a personal trainer in their fitness center. Joining Golden Ocala was one of the best decisions I've ever ever made, aside from marrying my wife, of course. So you want to join us in a few hours?
Absolutely. I can't wait to play the first hole in golf and the road hole too. Hey, how do I become a member at Golden Ocala?
Eddie, just call 352-402-4343.
Luxury and great golf is affordable at Golden Ocala. Call 352-402-4343 to join.
Hi, this is Lisa Midget, owner of the Properties Salon in downtown Ocala. Here in Florida, we're all about summertime fun, but along with the warm weather comes humidity, which leads to the dreaded frizzies. Are you tired of checking the weather report every morning before deciding to flat iron your hair? Sick of looking like the Lion King every day by noon? Has God just not seen fit to answer your prayers for patience and silky, frizz-free hair? Well, your troubles are over. Come to the Properties Salon for one of our hair smoothing systems. Specializing in Peter Coppola and Cezanne keratin smoothing treatments, the Properties Salon can tame your unruly locks with these formaldehyde-free formulas. And with the discount code BuddyRocks, you will save 20%. Not fighting the frizzies? Mention the same code BuddyRocks to save 20% off one of our many services such as cuts, color, extensions, and manis and petties. Gentlemen, this special is not just for the ladies. We do great cuts and color for men too. Check us out at theproperties.com for more information.
Men, do you know your testosterone level? Are you experiencing decreased energy levels or unusual sleeping problems? Have you noticed you have less strength or endurance, decreased sex drive, increased irritability or depression? If so, you may be experiencing problems with low testosterone. If you're interested in a free testosterone screening, please call Renstar Medical Research at 352-629-5800. Again, that number is 352-629-5800.
Are you wasting hundreds or thousands of dollars on termite retreat fees? If you're not with Turner Pest Control, you probably are. Turner Pest Control offers the industry's only termite and pest control package that never charges retreat fees, ever. You can get started today for only $99. This is a value of $500 or more. This includes treatments, installation of monitoring stations, quarterly pest control, and a lifetime guarantee, all for an unbelievable low $99. Even if you have another pest control provider, visit turnerpest.com to find out how you can avoid paying those high termite retreat fees.
The hottest CD deal this summer is with Florida Credit Union. Our summer CD special includes a short 25-month term combined with 1.51% APY. Take advantage of this high-yield CD special. Offer good through Saturday, August 30th, 2014. In DeLand, call 386-738-4717. In Ocala, call 352-237-8222. Florida Credit Union, connecting your money to your life. Federally insured by the NCUA. Offer subject to change at any time. $10,000 minimum.
I'm Diane Schreer, candidate for School Board, Marion County District 4. I'm asking you to vote for me in this primary. A healthy economy requires a healthy school system. Our children are our future. We must improve the quality of education so our children can compete, not only in the local and national arena, but globally as well. This is a nonpartisan election, and you may vote for me throughout the county. Again, please vote for me. I'm the best qualified candidate and totally committed to improving education here. I'm Diane Schreer, candidate for School Board, Marion County District 4.
You've got a garden and we've got a show for you called You've Got a Garden with your host, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. Carol Ann answers your questions about your flowers, your veggies, your grass, your trees, even questions about your bugs. And she's only on WOCA, so don't miss Carol Ann Baldwin and You've Got a Garden each Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on WOCA The Source.
We are The Source, WOCA, news, talk, sports, and more.
Cause you make me feel alive. I've been locked out of heaven for too long. For too long. Yeah, you make me feel alive. I've been locked out of heaven for too long. For too long.
Welcome back to Buddy Sports Page. We're efforting to get Tony Barnhart, Mr. College Football, here on the Voice of Ocala, Buddy Sports Page. Looking forward to tomorrow night, the inaugural installment of Southern Pigskin Tonight on the Southern Pigskin Radio Network. Buddy Martin, myself, Tom James will be the anchors down on this end while we go and talk to B.J. Bennett, Kevin Smith, and Matt Osborne at 3 and Out up in the Savannah, Georgia, Hilton Head area.
Actually, in Brunswick.
Brunswick, that's right, Brunswick. But they broadcast in Savannah and Hilton Head. So really looking forward to that kickoff tomorrow night, buddy. And you couldn't ask for a much better lineup. We're going to have Tony Barnhart, Terry Bradshaw, Maven here from the head ball coach, Steve Spurrier. We got all kinds of people that are going to show up on the Southern Pigskin tonight. But today, let's go back to this story about Johnny Manziel, because this has captivated everybody all preseason. And then Pettin says, he was a clear leader from the beginning. We knew Johnny Manziel wasn't going to. No, you didn't know Johnny Manziel wasn't going to start. You were hoping Johnny Manziel would start because that's your fan base hopes that. He was the clear leader from the beginning. We've maintained all along that if it was close, I would prefer to go with the more experienced player. Brian has done a great job in the meeting room and with his teammates on the practice field and the locker room. If it was that close, you'd have gave Johnny more chance. It wasn't. If you knew Hoyer was going to be your starter the whole time, you'd have gave Hoyer the start. It was real close. And if Johnny Manziel, I'd venture to say, didn't flip off the nation 2 nights ago, you'd have went with Johnny Manziel. Johnny Manziel's immaturity, flipping off the nation while he was flipping off the Washington Redskins bench, led to Mike Pettin, in my opinion, made his decision easier by saying we're going with Hoyer, the more experienced. What you meant was the more mature. But Johnny football is going to grow from that. And Tom James had a great point yesterday in his Go Long where he said, partying at nightclubs, in the pool in Vegas, flipping off the Redskins, if he throws touchdowns and he brings electricity to the game and he's effective, all that will get overlooked. Because that's the league we play in. We play in a league where everybody gets looked at as a producer. And as long as they produce, they will win. The Johnny Manziel will be good. So we're still efforting to try to get Tony Barnhart out of Buddy's outside. I don't know where Buddy's going. Still efforting to try to get Tony Barnhart. But Johnny Manziel is going to do okay in this league. He's going to do okay in this league. And it's going to be great. Brian Hoyer starts the first 2 or 3 games. Brian Hoyer starts the first 2 or 3 games, but Johnny Manziel ends up the starter in Cleveland, buddy, within 3 or 4 games.
Well, we'll see, but obviously they're making a statement, and I think it's more than just the way he played his position and how his stats turned out. And by the way, I think I'm going to ask Terry Bradshaw coming up in just a few minutes about his position. I'm going to ask him if he's ever flipped off a bench. I got to think maybe he probably has not, but you never know. He'll share with us. Tony Barnhart will be moments in just a moment. We'll check with him on the 2014 season and what's coming up. I'm sure he's got a busy schedule. He's Mr. College Football. Atlanta Journal-Constitution, SEC Network. You know him, you love him. Time now for Mr. College Football, Tony Barnhart. Hello, Tony.
Hello, buddy.
Well, it's upon us, Tony. It's here. It's just a matter of days away, and I just want to get your take on the 2 or 3 things that you are most looking forward to. We've had these discussions in the past, whether it be the new coaches, the new playoff system, or maybe a breakthrough team. We seem to have breakthrough teams like Auburn last year. What are the things you're anticipating about this season the most?
Well, the thing I'm looking forward to the most is the new playoff system, because I spoke to a group the other night in Memphis and sort of drew it up for them, and just the idea that you're going to wake up on New Year's Day and at 5 o'clock in the afternoon you're going to watch the Rose Bowl, and that's going to be one national semifinal, and Then you're going to watch a Sugar Bowl, and that's going to be the other national semifinal. I just think it breathes life back into New Year's Day. It becomes a 2-day holiday instead of 1-day holiday with the 6 bowls that are involved. I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to seeing how the SEC network sort of pans out now that I'm working for those guys. I just think it's going to be something completely new, completely different for the people who care about our sport. And yeah, who's this year's Auburn? I mean, we don't. It's hard for us to guess because we certainly didn't see Auburn coming last year. Not at all. Nobody saw Auburn coming last year. Is it Florida? Is it somebody else? And that's why the game is so fun, because stuff you don't expect happens.
We seem to be conflicted about the SEC East. There was all the talk in Hoover, Alabama, SEC Media Days was about Steve Spurrier's team, which seems to be getting better every day if you read the papers and read all the blogs. All of a sudden, he's now being mentioned as a possible contender for an SEC title. Who knows beyond that what the head ball coach might do. But a team that might be getting overlooked just a little bit, the Georgia Bulldogs have got a new defensive coordinator. He's kicked some people off the team. He's had some injury. What's Coach Pruitt going to do? What difference will he make there in the Georgia Bulldog program?
Well, he's made a big difference already on the defensive side of the ball. He's changed their practice routines. His practice routines, Mark Richt has adopted some of that stuff even on the offensive side of the ball. He has told the guys and know it in certain terms. He said, hey, I'm not going to give you what you want. I'm going to give you what you earn. And it is a refreshing change of pace. Now, Georgia's very, very talented up front. Their linebackers, the 4 guys they will put back there at linebacker are as good as anybody in the country. They're strong up front. They've got issues in the secondary, big-time issues, where they're going to play some very, very young people. Offensively, though, Georgia's going to be really, really good. And even though they lose Aaron Murray, they are just deep everywhere else. I think the game September 13th in Columbia when they play South Carolina, that's probably, we'll see, but that's going to go a long way and determine who wins the East, I think.
Going to make my reservation for that game. I'm going to have to make that one, I think, as well. What about the old ball coach? He's got a big opener. Texas A&M, a team that some people think may be a bit of a sleeper. They're going to pitch it around a little bit, although the other day Coach told me that the Gamecocks will be a run-first team. Do you believe that? And what do you expect in this game coming up between them?
Yeah, I absolutely believe he's a run-first team because he's got a veteran offensive line. He goes at least 4 deep and really good running backs. Mike Davis is a beast. And he's got Brandon Wiles. He's got a redshirt freshman named David Williams. He's got a guy named Sean Carson. So you watch Coach Spurrier evolve, buddy. We know him well, but he figured out he could win more ball games running the ball first and doing play-action passing and playing really good defense. And so I think they win that game against Texas A&M, and it may be by double digits. I just think South Carolina is that good.
Tony, there are a lot of coaching changes. I think somewhere around 15 or whatever. I don't know what the final number was, but a lot of coaching changes. There's some intriguing ones in particular. Some out of the league, some involving SEC team coaches that went other places. You got to be wondering about what's going to happen. First of all, at Louisville, Bobby Petrino in the ACC, going back to his old school, Charlie Strong leaving for Texas. Can Petrino bring back the magic there? He's going to have a pretty tough act to follow in Charlie Strong.
Well, he does, but you got to remember, I think Bobby Petrino was 41-9 or something like that in his time at Louisville when he was there the first time around. I mean, Bobby Petrino is a good coach. There's no one's ever questioned that. The passing game, he does exceedingly well. He's got, they lost a really good quarterback in Teddy Bridgewater, but they got a big kid named Will Gardner who's got a chance. They've got one of the best wide receivers in the country in Devontae Parker. So I think they're going to do pretty well in the ACC. Now, they got a big game with Florida State, and really that's about the only team, I don't know, that's going to push Florida State beside the Gators. And so Bobby Petrino is going to be interesting. Charlie Strong at Texas, it's going to take a while because Charlie – talk about somebody kicking guys off team. Charlie Strong went through, and you know Charlie. He's
got a revolving door there.
but Charlie's old school. That's
yes,
what people don't know about him. He is absolutely old school, and you're going to do it the right way. And so he had to let some guys go. But it's still Texas, and they're going to recruit, and they're going to recruit well, and it's going to take a little time. But, yeah, Charlie Strong gets it done at Texas.
I think you'll agree with me that the situation in Vanderbilt is going to be – Derek Mason is a very positive guy, but I don't know that he's going to be able to dig that hole out and do much better than James Franklin, who's now the coach at Penn State. What about, first of all, the Vanderbilt program under Mason, and how successful would James Franklin be at Penn State?
Well, the first thing first, Derek Mason. Listen, he's got a lot of work to do because listen, Vanderbilt had 3 guys drafted last year, but they had 7 more guys that signed free agent contracts. So 10 Vanderbilt players were in some kind of training camp this year. That's a lot for Vanderbilt. So they got to replace some talent. The question that I have is, with James Franklin as coach, Vanderbilt had sort of an edge. I mean, they were a tough out. They were a tough team to beat. So do they still have that same edge? Derek Mason is an impressive guy. He's a defensive coach. So we'll see. Can they get the talent back? James Franklin at Penn State, I have no doubt that he's going to be successful because he is going to go. He's going to go into that state and recruit really hard. And he and Urban Meyer are going to have some classic recruiting battles in the Big Ten. I don't think there's any doubt about that.
Tony Barnhart, Mr. College Football. He's on the Atlanta Journal-Constitution site, ajc.com, and, of course, the SEC Network, and writes a column every week. Tony, I'm going to refer to, real quickly, a column you wrote. And I'm going to ask you, if you would, give me a team that you might think be overrated and one underrated, especially in the SEC. You wrote that Texas A&M had the toughest road schedule, and followed by Tennessee and then Florida. I might argue with you about it. I don't know. I think I have, of course, the road now, if you count Georgia's a road game, I guess Florida's schedule comes more into play. But Florida's got some tough games, too. So let's say you're going to stick with Texas A&M as the hardest road schedule?
Well, I went with Texas A&M as the hardest road schedule simply because they play 3 ranked teams on the road, and they're all in the top 10. And that was the reason I did that. The Gators, of course, have to play number 1 and number 2, so that makes it, and they're both on the road. So I wouldn't argue with you much about the Gators, but that was the reason I went with Texas A&M because all 3 of their ranked opponents on the road all 3 were in the top 10.
Yeah. All right, Tony, real quick. Team you think might have been overrated in the SEC? Team you think might have been underrated?
Well, underrated right now, I think it's Florida. I think before the year's over, Florida's going to be there, even though the schedule is very, very good. Overrated, it's as you sit there and look around, I just think the teams that are going to struggle. I think Arkansas is going to struggle. I think Kentucky is going to struggle. If people think Vanderbilt is going to be an 8 or 9 win team again, then they're probably overrated. I think a team that's going to struggle this year is going to be Auburn a little bit. They've got 5 true road games.
Appreciate it, my friend. We hear the music. Appreciate it, Mr. College Football, Tony Barnhart. We'll talk to you soon. See you down the Sawdust Trail someplace in the SEC. All right, Tony Barnhart. Stay tuned. Coming up next, Terry Bradshaw right here on the Voice of Ocala.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Bring me down, can't none bring me down.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And so is State Farm agent Angie Lewis, working hard to serve her community as a citizen and insurance agent. Angie wants to help you as you adjust your insurance needs to your life. From everything to helping educate your teen driver to protecting your family against everyday risk. She wants to change the way you perceive insurance by developing relationships with her clients, which is why Angie and her staff are proud to be a part of so many good causes in Ocala. In turn, she has chosen to single out those who step up as leaders. Each month on the Voice of Ocala, Angie spotlights a good neighbor, saluting those who give exceptional service or do random acts of kindness to others. For this, Angie was written up in State Farm's National Magazine. Angie also supports local businesses with a regular Biz Buzz. The Angie Lewis State Farm Agency is located at 1122 Northeast 36th Avenue, where visitors are always welcome and the coffee pot is always on.
Hi, this is Randy Briggs of the Briggs Law Firm. Traditional help for truly injured. We trademark registered this belief years ago as our description of our practice at the Briggs Law Firm. By traditional help, we mean that clients actually meet with a partner in the firm who will personally handle their case, not a paralegal. Well, what about truly injured? We limit our practice to injury claims having merit with clients who indeed have been injured. So if you or a loved one have been truly injured, compare our credentials at thebriggslawfirm.com or call us at 671-4600.
Hi, this is Tom Schmitz of the Voice of Ocala, heard daily on these airwaves from 3 to 6 p.m. People always come up and ask me, is Buddy Martin really a nice guy to work with? And I always tell them, sure, he's one of the nicest guys you could ever meet. It's a pleasure working with Buddy every day. It's almost like no work at all. Did that sound believable? I mean, wait, is this still on?
Fox News Radio, I'm Jane Metzler.
Jim was taken from us in an act of violence that shocks the conscience of the entire world.
President Obama condemning the brutal videotape beheading of American journalist James Foley by ISIS militants. Abducted in 2012 while covering the civil war in Syria, he was on assignment for the Boston-based website Global Post. CEO Philip Balboni says millions were spent trying to get him back, describing the last communication from Foley's captors.
The message was vitriolic and filled with rage against the United States.
And a response to U.S. airstrikes against ISIS, which continued again today. Balboni also noting
there are 3 Americans who are being held hostage in Syria right now.
The Dow closing up 60, the NASDAQ down a point, the S&P up 5. Fox News, we report, you decide.
Too many burgers topped with chicken fried steak dipped in nacho cheese would do a number to your arteries. Grime and sludge do the same to your engine, but without that delicious flavor. Luckily, Napa has Seafoam motor treatment for just $7. So with $7, grab some Seafoam at Napa and get your engine's arteries clean. And eat a vegetable every once in a while. Conquer the job with Napa Know-How. At participating Napa Auto Parts stores while supplies last. Offer expires 8/31/14.
America was built by people with a few dollars and a dream. And while many don't know it, there's one path to success that still only requires a dream and about $10. That's right. If your dream is to start or grow your business, something as simple as the right business card could make all the difference. And today at Vistaprint.com, you can get 500 full-color business cards for only $9.99. That's right, only $9.99. Just go to Vistaprint.com and enter promo code 2000 at checkout. That's Vistaprint.com, promo code 2000.
Let's give it up for old asphalt and a new pair of shoes. Let's give it up for a good rhythm meeting a sweet melody. For a church cookout under clear skies. Let's give it up for good things coming together, like bundling your auto and other policies together with an Allstate agent, which can save you time and keep you better protected. Let's give it up for good.
To receive your comparative insurance quote, contact the McDonald Agency at 622-2333.
Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean, I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need my seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line and a new spoiler and a new trunk.
We can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too, huh?
Well, as a matter of fact, join me every Monday at 10 for auto repair with personal care here on The Source.
Of course you do. Keep up with what's going on in the downtown area with Ocala Downtown Newspaper. Delivering thousands of newspapers to businesses in the downtown area, Ocala Downtown is there to keep you informed. They even have Tom's Picks, a free referral for people who are looking for a company to do work for them. Tom's Picks will refer the company that fits your needs, and all we ask in return is that you tell them where you heard about it. It's simple. For more info, just call Tom's Picks, 352-804-1223, and pick up your copy of the Downtown Ocala newspaper today.
Now read Ocala Downtown newspaper online.
Hi,
Hi, I'm Yvette, and I'm here to tell you a few things about ABC Fredericks Appliance. They sell not only new, but used guaranteed appliances. When you call ABC Fredericks Appliance, they will provide service on what they sell and any appliances that you own. ABC Fredericks Appliance is located in Bellevue, right over the railroad tracks. Call 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. ABC Fredericks Appliance.
And where there is where I wanna stay. Takes me to paradise, yeah. Takes me to paradise and shows. Yeah. 'Cause you make me feel like I've been locked out of heaven. Oh, too long. Oh, too long. Yeah, you make me feel like I've been locked out of heaven. Oh, too long. Oh, too
Welcome back to the program. Voice of Ocala, Buddy Sports Page. Hooking up here with Terry Bradshaw in just a moment. Having a few phone line difficulties. It seems like it's today. And talk to me, Tom. I don't know what you're saying. Just say. Yeah.
We got him in the other room. They're going to transfer him to this phone.
Okay. All right. Let's see if that works. The telephone gremlins are really kind of beating us up today for some reason or the other. And hopefully Bradshaw will be along. Tony Bonhart joins us the first part of the program. I got his take on an overrated, underrated team, and he gave us his take on things. So I believe we have Terry Bradshaw now on the phone.
Hey.
All right, here we are. He's the Emmy-winning analyst and studio host for Fox. He's a two-time MVP of the Super Bowl. He's got 4 rings from winning the Super Bowl. And he's just recently married. Congratulations to you and Tammy. Terry Bradshaw joins us now on the Terry Bradshaw Football Show. Got a nice ring to it there.
I got my own football show. It's great.
Got your own football show. I told you a long time ago, just stick with me. I'm going to make you a star.
Well, yeah. This is it. This is going to be this is the kicker, huh?
This is it. This is all we get.
Hey, I don't know where we are in Georgia, but I want to say hi to Bobby Walden and Scarlett Walden. And as far as I know, they live in a small town of Climax, Georgia.
There you go.
Which is kind of cool.
Yeah, I know that one. Yeah.
So I don't know if they get this or not, but I know Scarlett's been trying to run me down, but I've been over here in Hawaii, and I haven't called her back, and she's going to be real mad at me, but I will call her back. But this is my way of making
Well,
it.
yeah, just use us for your personal messaging system if we need to do that. It's fine. Let's, by the way, Terry, congratulations. The 21st year you're on Fox on Sunday. NFL co-host of the show, Fox. And, boy, it just seems like yesterday you worked for another network, and I used to see you there occasionally. How do you make it last 21 years, Terry?
I didn't make it last, buddy. It's one of those Johnny Carson things. It's America tuned in, America liked it and felt good about it, and decided they wanted to make us a regular on Sundays in their households, which is quite a compliment. And we've developed a chemistry over 21 years, which is special. And it's kind of it's unique too that you can take 5 or 6 big personalities and egos and blend them all together and create a show, and we all become good friends, and that shows. And so we've been really blessed. We regret we don't look forward to the day when we all start moving on. So, but right now, 21 years, and David Hill is the chairman and the man that put it all together, and And it's been fun. Golly, it's been fun. We started at CBS on the Today Show with you and I.
Yep.
And then you left, and you were in Denver, and then you went back to Florida, and I've been back to Texas, and then on to Fox, and you disappeared and became what? A big Steve Spurrier guy, and you know.
I am a Steve Spurrier guy.
Yeah. Oh, I know you know. Steve
And by the way,
Spurrier.
you also like Steve Spurrier. You told me.
Well, I didn't. Oh, I didn't say like. I didn't use that with you, but I do like Steve Spurrier. I like Steve Spurrier. He was at Florida a lot. He was South Carolina, and totally different type of coach, in my opinion. You know, not the wide open offense, and not throwing the post dig options and all the crazy stuff. Now we see I think Steve learned a lot when he went to Washington Redskins. Balanced offense, run the ball more, power game, great defense. Something he did particularly, I think, do at Florida. At Florida was known, good defense certainly, but primarily explosive and crazy offenses, and he was just amazing. I think he learned a lot when he went to the NFL and came back in South Carolina and realized I can't recruit these kids in Florida like I got in Florida, but I can get some big, powerful kids, and we'll run the football, we'll play great defense, and eventually we'll evolve. And I think they've evolved now into a real powerhouse. Terry
Bradshaw Football Show. Why couldn't Spurrier win in Washington in the NFL level?
Well, when he went to the USFL, I think.
Right, Tampa Bay Bandits.
Tampa, it was kind of the AFL, throw it all over the place, try to garner some type of viewership where you could be viable and stay on the air and so on and so forth. He went to Washington, and quite honestly, the word down through various gossip chains was that he just didn't put in the effort, didn't put in the time, didn't, really care too much about defense, and didn't worry about blocking the offensive line coaching job. That was the word that we heard. He said didn't really care about all that stuff, and I think he got humiliated when he went there, and that doesn't work in the NFL, and you outwork the other guy. And as great a coach as he is in college, he was equally as bad a coach in the NFL. And I think his niche is right where it is today. You need guys like Steve to stay where they are. And Saban tried it in Miami. He's not a total flop, but you would say so. Jimmy was one successful guy.
Jimmy Johnson.
The one was current now. Kelly coming in from Oregon. He's the guy that looks like he's the guy that's going to do it. But honestly, the word I got was Steve just didn't put the time in or get thought and concern about certain parts of the football, whether it be the offensive line or defense, and consequently he got embarrassed.
Well, I'm going to come back to you on that, Terry, and say that I know you used to carry reams of film on your trunk when you played for the Steelers and never looked at it. So putting in the time is not what I'll let you get away with, pal.
Yeah, but hold on. I put the time. First of all, I put the time in during the day. I didn't get out of there till 7:30 at night. What am I going to do? Drive 30 minutes home and then go put that reel-to-reel crap on? I wasn't going to do that.
I know.
But it looked good as I left the office. Someone help me with this tape. I got get that wheelbarrow over here.
Yeah. Call us out on that one, pal.
No, you didn't get me on that. You didn't get me.
Hey, by the way,
tried to get me.
Yeah, by the way,
and you try to hurt my feelings. What?
No, your show. We want to do what you. Hey, tell me about this. We're going to talk a little bit about Seattle and about the great job they've done out there, the Seahawks, the franchise, and what's happening there. Remarkable. I'm going to try to repeat again this year. But you told me a long time ago you just don't have any idea how hard it is to repeat in the National Football League, and you did it twice as champions. How tough is it for Seattle to try to repeat?
Well, Pete Carroll will have. I think Pete Carroll, their head coach, is a guy that understands that last year's last year. All right, you got your Super Bowl rings. Is what we do. Coaches say, all right, you got Super Bowl rings. Look out for them, wear them a little bit. All right, put them up. That was last year. Everybody hates you. Everybody wants to beat you. And the only person that can beat us is whether or not we are committed to playing great football. If we're committed and take the challenge on, There's no reason why we can't. We never looked at the Super Bowl as the number one goal, buddy, because first of all, you had to win your division, then you had to win your conference to get Super Bowl, and so the number one thing was win the division. That was the biggest concern, or just make the playoffs. And so that was the driving goal: get into the playoffs. And as good a team as we were, and as a lot of teams are, whether it be the Colts when they beat the Bears, or whether it be the Steelers when they won, when Cowboys won, or when the Raiders won, or when any currently chef. What has to happen is you have to remain competitive and in the race week 12, and then from there on you will jack yourself up. You start smelling it. It starts getting good because once you win a Super Bowl, you just want to get back to the playoffs. You don't want to have to play Cleveland twice, Cincinnati twice, Houston twice. Go on the road and play some honky tonk team that's not worth it. Detroit, Green Bay at the time. Play these teams. You don't care anything about them, and you just want to get to the playoffs. But around week 12, your juices start jacking up with you, and you get into it, and that's when it gets to be fun. And you don't have to worry about whether we won it last year. We're going to play good football. So that was key. A lot of teams. I always thought, buddy, when the Bears won the Super Bowl, I don't know what year, 85, whatever it was.
86 Super Bowl.
They should have won, to me, at least one more. They must have written 30 books, opened 50 restaurants. Everybody held out for more money.
Videos.
Including their coach and Ditka and fighting with Buddy Ryan. And they destroyed that football team, destroyed it now, and no one had the pulse of it. No one took control of it. That football team just wasted, in my opinion, they wasted at least one Super Bowl. That team was too good not to have won more than one. But you just can't think that much of yourself. You can't think highly of yourself. You have to remain humble because you're going to lose a game, and you have to know every team's going to give it their best effort. And you just have to get yourself emotionally wrapped up in the season. I always look at it like this. I used this a couple of times with some players that asked me about it. I said, if I were a coach, I would come to you in the team meeting before the season started in a 16-game schedule, and I would say to my football team, can you go to work 16 days this year and make a minimum of $2.5 million? I'm going to pay you. And can you give me your very best for 16 out of 365 days for $2.5 million? And everybody in Georgia and Florida that just heard that comment that make less than 50,000 or 100 are going, hell yeah, I can. You bet I can. And that would be my way of approaching it and putting it in simple terms.
Wow.
Can you give me 16 days of your life? 100% committed. Because during the week, it's nothing. It's practice. You're looking at tape. Well, that's no big deal. But game day is the fun day. Give me 16 days.
Coaching them up, Terry Bradshaw.
All I'm asking.
Yeah, you're coaching them up, Coach Bradshaw.
Yeah.
On the Terry Bradshaw football show.
Yeah. Was
Terry,
that a commercial break, buddy?
Yeah, no, it's not a commercial break. Fox NFL Sunday. We're going straight through today.
Creative pause.
Yeah, I wanted to say, I want to get to a couple of things before we run out of time. Fox NFL Sunday, of course, starts back in a couple of weeks. Tell me the truth. Does Frank Caliendo really annoy you?
Does he annoy me?
Yeah.
No.
Does he
bother you? First of all, if you're thinking that Frank's still on our show, you're wrong. He's been gone 2 years.
He's been gone. Because I called up. Well, I guess he's not annoying you, but according to the internet, when I call up Fox NFL Sunday, there's his picture, Kurt Menefee and all Michael Strahan and James, what have you. Anyway, so he's gone. Here's the second thing I want to ask you.
He's at ESPN if you want to watch him.
Okay, well, he's funny.
Funny as I'll get out.
Yeah, it's funny. Okay, well, there you go. My bad. But
evidently he annoys you. You don't even know where he is.
Yeah. Well, I want to ask you this question. How many pounds of nachos do you and Jimmy Johnson eat when you're watching football games?
Oh, my God, Jimmy. Oh, my God. I would say, now I don't eat, I eat very few, hardly any of them, because I do the Nutrisystem, and so I carry that everywhere I go. have for years. Jimmy probably eats, because I taught the chefs how to make these things, there's probably a pound of chopped up chicken, a pound of chopped up sirloin, probably 2 quarts of jalapenos, a pound and a half of regular cheese, American cheese, all over it, and it's cooked in layers and tossed so that it's good. And then it's he uses picante hot, 2 giant jars on it, mixed up, and 1 giant jar off to the side, and a jar of jalapenos. And he eats probably 2/3 of it.
Wow.
And then John Zernecki, one of our insiders, he comes in, he'll eat what's left, or Glazer will finish it off. But between the nachos and 6 to 8 Heineken Lights, Jimmy puts down probably 8,000 calories. 7 hours period.
Makes his hair grow better. Hey,
he sits there in my room. I got us recliners. We're like the odd couple. I got 2 recliners, 3 television flat screens, high def sitting there. It's just Jimmy and I. And we watch college football from 9 a.m. We work out at 7:30. And we work out an hour and 15 minutes. We come in. He's got a shower downstairs. I'm upstairs in my place. And then we sit down and we watch football all day long. He leaves the house 5:30. We're in bed. Not me and Jimmy.
Good stuff right there. I want to come out and join you sometime. That sounds like fun.
No. We go to bed. I go to bed around. I wait. The sun's got to go down, but in bed and asleep by 7 because we're up at 4 a.m. and off we go.
Yeah. Terry, we got 30 seconds on the Terry Bradshaw Football Show. And I want to ask you real quick. Florida State got a chance to repeat. You've seen Jameis Winston a little bit. What do you like? You like this team? You think they can repeat as national champion?
I like Florida State. I don't like this Winston's kid. I don't like what's happened at Florida State, and I don't know what all has gone on with him and all his off-the-field activities. It seems like a con artist at times, smiling and laughing, and like he's pulling one over on us.
Yeah.
So I'm not a real Jameis Winston, whatever his name is.
But you like FSU to repeat?
I do not think they'll repeat.
Okay.
No.
All right.
No, I don't.
All right, TB. We're out of time, buddy, on your first show.
What about Manziel? We didn't even get to talk about Manziel.
You got 5 seconds on Johnny Manziel.
No, I need more than that.
We'll get it next time around.
I think America and Ocala, Florida, and Georgia is tired of Manziel.
Okay.
And by the way, for all my friends in Georgia, we got more stations there. Huge Georgia Bulldogs fan.
Okay.
Huge Georgia Bulldogs fan.
Terry Bradshaw, the Terry Bradshaw Football Show. Thank you, Terry.
Next week.
All right, pal. Same time, same station. All right, Terry Bradshaw. Let's take a break. We'll come back and we'll wrap this thing up right here on Buddy Sports Page. Crazy day here at the station.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Let's face it, nowadays it can be hard to find American-made products, and that's something that Cabinet Sales of North Florida is well aware of. That's why they're an authorized dealer of Wellborn Cabinetry, family-owned and American-made since 1961. Cabinet Sales of North Florida is your answer for complete turnkey kitchen remodels and whole house cabinetry. Their cabinets are finished with solvent-based enamels for a long-lasting finish that's second to none. Available in an incredible selection of door styles and colors to choose from to turn your dream kitchen into a reality. In-house design and drawing services are available. Come by and see our displays for yourself at the Floors of the Villages, 3935 County Road 216 in Oxford, or Exquisite Design Kitchen and Bath in Bellevue, right across the street from the Bellevue Library. So whether you're looking for bookcases, kitchen, bath, or outdoor kitchen, Cabinet Sales of North Florida is your one-stop source of quality cabinets. For a free estimate, call 352-427-2647. That's 352-427-2647. Cabinet Sales of North Florida.
Here's what you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
We should eat our larger meals earlier in the day so we have energy, and eat our smallest meal at night so the body can focus on sleeping. Successful relationships aren't supposed to be perfect. They require vulnerability. Telling yourself that a guy isn't good enough, our expert says you're really just giving yourself an excuse to stop trying. Couples should send 2 texts a day that provoke interest, like, I want to tell you about this cool vacation idea I had.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
News Talk 1370, WOCA invites you to discover your full business potential. News Talk Radio is the perfect environment for your advertising. WOCA's News Talk format pinpoints information-hungry, better educated, high-income adults, so use us to talk to them. Call 732-8000. 732-8000. We're Ocala News Talk Radio. News Talk 1370 WOCA.
I want to thank our guest today, Jim Ross from the Star Banner, also Don Cushing of Ocala Tony Barnhart, Mr. College Football, was in earlier, and Terry Bradshaw on the Terry Bradshaw Football Show. Don't forget Thursday night, 6 o'clock. They'll be on again to reprise and some of that, so you'll enjoy that, I'm sure.
I'm exhausted, I'll tell you that.
I know, it's been a long day. It's been a long day, and I'm a little tired myself. But I want to thank Diamond Anderson over there. Diamond getting battle tested now, but tell you what, she's done a good job for us. And Tom, it's been a long day, but it's been a good day. And thank you, partner. I appreciate all you did today. And by the way, thanks to good work by Tom James, who was in earlier today. More tomorrow. We'll be coming to you live from down at the restaurant. Mark Steaks. Thank you, Mark Steaks. You know where Mark is. I'm Buddy Martin. Have a great night.
She grew up in an Indiana town, had a good-looking mom who never was around, but she grew up tall and...
Hi, this is Randy Briggs of the Briggs Law Firm. My son Bo and I practice exclusively in the representation of accident victims. And we've been asked many times why we would support and sponsor the program Ask the Cops with Sheriff Blair.